It's time for the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. The Mark Bless Show is brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Changes Home Care, and Avon Dental Care. Now it's time to talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. I'm Brian Scott, and this is the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. A trip to Fishers is never an easy assignment for any team that wants to take on head coach Rick Wimmer's Tigers. And for 2.5 quarters, it was a knockdown, drag-out defensively as the Avon Orioles made the trip up to Fishers to take on the Tigers. Tigers ranked 6th in Class 6A going into action last week. The Orioles ranked 9th, and it was a pretty close game until a 50-yard Bryant Fitzgerald run late in the third quarter. That opened up the offensive floodgates for Avon as Fitzgerald would score from 7 yards out on the very next play, and then Avon would go on to score 3 more times. They scored 26 points in the second half while keeping the Tigers off the scoreboard, and the Orioles come away with a 36-14 win at Fishers. When we come back, we'll talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Mark Bless, about last week's game against the Tigers and this week's opponent, the Westfield Shamrocks. This is the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year. It's time to talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. Avon coming off a very impressive win at always tough Fishers by winning Friday night by the score 36-14 in a game where the final score really doesn't indicate how that game progressed. For 2.5 quarters, that was just a knockdown, drag-out fight, especially with both teams' defenses. You get some excitement with Bryant Fitzgerald with a nice long run. He caps it off with a 7-yard touchdown run on the ensuing play to get your team the lead once again. And then things just kind of snowballed offensively. But let's back up and talk defense, because this is where this game was really won, I believe, was with your defense. Running out of space, tired of the clutter, but don't want to part with your possessions? We have a solution for that at Northfield Self Storage in Brownsburg. Whether you need a little extra storage or a larger. It's time for the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. The Mark Bless Show is brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Changes Home Care, and Avon Dental Care.
00. Changes Home Care in Avon.
We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year. It's time to talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. Avon coming off a very impressive win at always tough Fishers by winning Friday night by the score 36-14 in a game where the final score really doesn't indicate how that game progressed. For 2.5 quarters, that was just a knockdown, drag-out fight, especially with both teams' defenses. You get some excitement with Bryant Fitzgerald with a nice long run. He caps it off with a 7-yard touchdown run on the ensuing play to get your team the lead once again. And then things just kind of snowballed offensively. But let's back up and talk defense, because this is where this game was really won, I believe, was with your defense.
Oh, I agree, Brian. Defensively, we've been playing pretty well, all season, outside of, a few plays here and there that were big plays against some early season opponents. But I think we were able to learn some lessons from those episodes and get better as a defense. And in our last 3 games, I think defensively we've played very, very well. And, a lot to be proud of, holding a team like Fisher's scoreless in the last 2 quarters. So, defensively, I think we're definitely making great strides, and every week I'm seeing improvement.
When you talk about this defensive squad, their impressiveness, especially against the run. Fisher's you've now had 3 teams in succession that all had very strong running games, and here you hold Fisher's to only 24 yards on 17 carries.
Yeah, I think we're certainly led by our linebacking core. I thought Brody Good played very well, Matt Thompson, Levi Hawk, and Zach Batustak. And, but the guys up front are getting so much better, too. C.J. Hunt, we got Gunnar Larson back this week. He was very effective in there. Timmy Osho and A.J. Elcock.
Talk a little bit about Timmy Osho, because he got to be thrown into this when Gunnar went down, and he has really played very well in Gunnar's absence.
Right. And we saw great improvement from Timmy this summer in a lot of our skills and drills work. His hands have gotten so much better. His endurance and conditioning is strengthened. And he's playing with quite a passion, and he does a very good job communicating with the other linemen on calls.
Your defensive secondary also has been improving steadily as the season's progressed. Fisher's only has 140 yards passing last Friday night. Defensively, you kept everybody in front, didn't give up any big plays. Really, the one extended drive that Fisher scored on when they got the 17-yard touchdown pass, that was really their only, I would say, extended drive. Other than that, your secondary kept everybody pretty much in front of them.
Right, and one young man I'd like to mention that I think has made leaps and bounds since last year is Scott Campbell. Scott's playing very physical. He came up a couple times and separated the ball from the receiver with his contact, and I think he's getting more and more confident at that corner spot. Certainly with Fitz back there and Andrew Griffin, we're able to defend the pass a little stronger. Lance Myers doing a super job and getting some good play from Ian Pendleton as well.
Okay, the offense was, again, this was a defensive struggle on both sides because Fisher's played very well defensively. Of course, they got their first points via the bad snap on the punt that they ran back for a touchdown. But they also held you guys down pretty well defensively until late. And then at some point, do you take a look at Bryant Fitzgerald and say, where can't I play him? Can he run the water in? Can he do whatever else? Because whenever he's on the field, some type of magic is going to happen. And it's been the last 4 games that he's got at least one play that covers at least 40 yards. He scores a touchdown, and he's just everywhere you put him, he's just making plays.
Well, certainly he's an explosive athlete on the field. I think early in the season we were trying to ask too much too soon, being a full-time defensive player and spot playing a little bit offensively, as well as special teams. And I think he felt a little bit overwhelmed and maybe didn't have the success he thought he should have had, or even us. So we're trying to make sure that he's comfortable with whatever duties we throw him offensively, but certainly well capable of making a small play into a big play. And I thought he gave our offense quite a boost when he had that nice long run.
Offensively, of course, Andrew Griffin and Matt Moore, they are still 2 of Brandon Peters' most favorite targets. And while we didn't see a whole lot of targets for Harrison Weber, Jordan Peterson, I noticed, didn't play as much in the second half. You had Drew Pankey-Wallace in. You are starting to have that offensive spread now where defenses, yes, they have to look at Andrew Griffin and they have to look at Matt Moore, but at least 2 or 3 times in a game you're going to go downfield to see if Harrison Weber is going to be able to get behind the defenders, which usually once or twice a game he'll be able to. How are you feeling with your spread as far as now teams are having to focus not only on Andrew Griffin and Matt Moore, but also Harrison Weber and other offensive players?
Right. Well, I think Harrison is developing into a very good receiver. Not only does he give us a long ball threat, but, he can run some intermediate routes. But he has gotten so good at blocking downfield as well. And for a guy that hasn't played football since his freshman year, it's pretty impressive. His physicality he brings to the block. We wanted to rotate Drew Panky Wallace in a little bit this week. He's played, off and on a little bit, but, he gives us something as well. He's a track guy that can move pretty well. We got to get a little bit more out of Jordan at times. He runs very solid routes and has good hands, but, sometimes I think he loses some focus on the field. And, we expect big things from all of our receivers. We also use Corey DePriest coming out of the backfield a little bit, and I think he's got, very good hands and some explosiveness. As we're wrapping up talking about offense, I thought Darian Love came in and gave us a good spark running the ball as well. I thought he ran with a lot of authority.
If we're going to talk about all the good things, you still have a few issues on special teams, of course. The high snap, not much Sam Perino can do on a play like that. But you also had 2 extra points, one fully blocked, one was, I think, tipped at the line.
Well, our long snapper came in. He's a freshman. He's done a very fine job up until that high snap on the punt. And, we think we've got that issue resolved. For a freshman coming in playing varsity football, especially against a team like Fisher's, not easy on him, but he's getting more and more exposure every week. And, we've got confidence in him. And, he's done fine all year since we've put him at that spot. But like I said, I think we've got that resolved now. We had a breakdown on the second blocked PAT on the blocking on the edge. And the first one, the snap wasn't exactly where it needed to be.
We're talking with the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. When we come back, the season, well, it's 2/3 of the way done. We're going to be talking about this week's opponent, the Westfield Shamrocks. This is the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind Sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Welcome back to the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. The Avon Orioles fresh off a 36-14 win at Fisher's return to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium at Avon. And Coach, there's only 3 games left in the regular season. We're already looking at sectionals in a few weeks, get the sectional assignments. But you've got a tough opponent coming in the Westfield Shamrocks. The Shamrocks, though, after starting the season 4-0, they have now lost their last 2. They played Brownsburg, or hosted the Bulldogs last week, and fell to Brownsburg by the score of 59-30. Westfield, this has not been your father's, if people know what I mean, Westfield team of years gone by. They play very, very tough. They are very, very sound, and it's a team that you've got to give a lot of respect to when they come into Hendricks Regional Health Stadium this week.
Absolutely. 2 years ago, they beat us 15-13, and, they had a very solid team. But we thought we had an opportunity at the end of the game to make a play following an interception. And, we let that one fall short. So, our guys that are 3-year starters, they remember that game. They remember the intensity that Westfield brought into the game. And even last year's game was a physical game. So we know that a Jake Gilbert team is well coached, fundamentally sound, and they're going to play fast and play hard. So our players are not going to, have a letdown due to anything that the coaching staff allows. We got to be ready to go, and, it's our home game, and we want to make sure we take care of business.
Westfield's led by a senior quarterback, Ryan Pepio. He's a guy that's really one of those dual threats. He'll throw the ball, he'll run the ball, and he runs an offense that everything pretty much runs through him. The Shamrocks, they like to run the ball, but everything's pretty much in their senior quarterback's hands.
Oh, certainly, and he's a fine athlete. And if a defense allows him to be able to maneuver and run around the field, then he's going to make some plays. He's a very accurate passer, so we got to make sure we get pressure on him. But as I said, we got to contain the pocket and keep him closed in.
Westfield is a team that has shown some susceptibility to the run. Toxack and Rabati for the Bulldogs pretty much had a night, as it would be last Friday night. Your team has been defending the run well and also running the ball. Your balance on offense, running and passing, we see a lot of Brandon Peters and we see a lot of Andrew Griffin and Matt Moore, but your running capability has really opened up a lot of that. And how do you expect to be able to attack that Westfield defense Friday?
Well, first of all, Westfield jumps in and out of many different fronts and blitzes. So, our offensive line is going to have to communicate, which I thought they did a tremendous job last week once they settled down after the second drive. We got a little rattled, and I think our linemen just need to keep communicating, make sure if they see something that everybody on the line sees it, and we got to communicate to be able to pick up a blitz. But as I said, Westfield will jump in and out of different fronts. So we've definitely got a lot of film to watch this week with our players, and we'll let them understand the concepts of what they're trying to do. But certainly anytime you're able to run the ball, it's going to help open up a passing game, throw more guys in the box, if you will, to allow us to be able to throw the ball down the field.
You mentioned you got Gunnar Larson to be able to make a few plays last Friday night. How do you feel health-wise coming into Westfield this week?
We're as healthy as we've been all year. So we feel good about our health. And I think a lot of that goes to our off-season conditioning and training. Our new strength coach, Damian Smith, does a good job of keeping us moving, doing a lot of movement stations. But I think because of what we put into it, we're able to stay more healthy.
Only 3 more games left in the regular season. You'll learn sectional assignments in 2 weeks. You've got 2 home games, and you're sandwiching the game next week at Zionsville. What do you want to do for the next 3 weeks as you prepare to get ready for the tournament? Is there anything that you're really wanting to look at and say, look, I want to make sure we are here when tournament time comes?
Well, there's no key feature. Our big selling point all year is we're taking care of what's in front of us, but every week we got to show improvement, and every week we should be better than the week before because of our work ethic and practice, our attention to detail, and our game experience. And, I think we've done a very good job of weekly improvement, making strides to try to play your best football come tournament time. A couple of things we want to look at as well is developing depth as we go. And I think, across the board at every week, we can say, okay, we have gotten better, we have shown improvement, and we are developing more depth with our program.
That is the head coach of the Orioles, Coach Mark Bless, as Avon prepares to welcome the Westfield Shamrocks to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. We'll have the game for you right here on Audio Sports Online. Pre-game show begins at 6:30. Kickoff between the Orioles and the Shamrocks is set for 7 o'clock. Coach, good luck. We'll see you Friday.
Very good. Thanks, Brian.
You've been listening to the Mark Bless Show on Audio Sports Online. Tonight's show's been brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Changes Home Care, and Avon Dental Care. Tune in next week when we once again talk to the head coach of the Avon Orioles, Coach Mark Bless. The Mark Bless Show is an AudioSportsOnline.com production.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Westside Plumbing would like to announce that Brian Payne is now a part of the team for all of your heating and air conditioning needs. Westside Plumbing now offers residential heating and air conditioning maintenance, repair, and replacement. To show their appreciation, Westside Plumbing is now offering a professional heating system tune-up and cleaning for the introductory price of just $69. Tell them you heard it from XRB. To schedule an appointment, just call 317-445-8399. That's 317-445-8399. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Westside Plumbing. It is game night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Tonight's game is brought to you by Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Avon Dental Center, Changes Home Care, Red Cobra Wrestling, Citywide Paving, Westside Plumbing, Panuni's Pizza and Wings, Blue River Pharmacy, Northfield Storage, Ivy Tech, and the Payroll Department Incorporated. Game night in Hendricks County on Audio Sports Online and XRBRadio.com is an AudioSportsOnline.com production. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, where tonight the Avon Orioles return home for two of their final three games of the season, ranked 7th in Class 6A, and the Orioles will take on the Westfield Shamrocks, ranked 8th in Class 5A, as we bring you tonight's game on Audio Sports Online. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Game Night in Hendricks County. I'm Brian Scott. It is a three-game stretch before we have tournament action here in the state of Indiana. And the Avon Orioles, after losing a pair of games against both Hamilton Southeastern and Ben Davis, are now riding a three-game winning streak. Avon now 4-2 after defeating the Fishers Tigers last week by the score of 36-14. It was a game that was, for the first 2.5 quarters, rather a defensive struggle, as it were. Neither team actually able to do a whole lot on the offensive side of the football. In fact, Avon went into the half trailing by the score of 17-14. And that's the way it would stay until very late in the third quarter, when Brian Fitzgerald finally broke off a 48-yard run, took it down to the Fishers 7. He scored one play later, and after that, the Orioles just seemed to click offensively. They held Fishers on the next series to a 3-and-out. They drove right back down the field. Brandon Peters scored from 1 yard out, and it was on as the Orioles scored the final 26 points in that contest to win, going away by the score of 36-14. Brandon Peters, another stellar night, 23 of 34, 251 yards, a pair of touchdowns, ran for one as well. Also a great night from running the football by
both Darian Love rushing for 91 yards and a touchdown. Bryant Fitzgerald, 86 yards on 9 carries for a touchdown as well. And the receiving corps, once again, led by Andrew Griffin, 144 yards on 11 catches and 2 touchdowns. Matt Moore, 92 yards on 10 catches. So the Oriole offense, which was against a very, very good Fishers Tigers team, head coach Rick Wimmer, came alive there late in the third quarter, and then the offense just kind of took off from there. The opponent tonight for the Avon Orioles are the Westfield Shamrocks. The Shamrocks are 4-2, and Jake Gilbert's team ranked 8th in Class 5A. They started the season 4-0 until they ran into a buzzsaw that is Hamilton Southeastern. Hamilton Southeastern, of course, at the top of the HCC standings with a perfect 4-0 record. Then things kind of took a turn for the worse for the Shamrocks last week. They were back home at homecoming against the Brownsburg Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs pretty much, after spotting the Shamrocks a 14-7 lead, quarterback Hunter Johnson took over, throwing 3 touchdown passes in that second quarter. The Bulldogs went to the locker room with a 28-17 lead and then poured it on in the second half to win by the score of 59-30. The player to watch for the Shamrocks tonight, senior quarterback Ryan Pepio. Pepio, last week against the Bulldogs, not a stellar night throwing the football, though his completion percentage is high. The Shamrocks like to throw a lot of dink and dunk passes. Pepio, 21-33, 161 yards. He did throw 1 interception in last week's game against the Bulldogs, but running the football, he had 72 yards on 14 carries. They also got a good night from Brendan Karsnick, who had 68 yards on 18 carries and scored 3 touchdowns. So the Shamrocks come into this game. They are very, very good offensively. They will run a lot of read option with Pepio. And when you take a look at this team and you take a look at the number of yards that the Shamrocks have offensively this season, Pepio is responsible for almost half of those yards, not only through the air, but also on the ground. So they will use him a lot. You will see a lot of read option, run option type plays from Pepio. When they want to hand the ball off, they will give it to Brandon Karsnick, a 5'7", 150-pound senior who has 392 yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. They will also throw the ball, but again, you don't see him really take a lot of shots downfield. Evan Manley, their leading receiver, has 433 yards on the season and 3 touchdowns. So the offense pretty much revolves around the senior quarterback, Ryan Pepio. Defensively, the Shamrocks, well, the Orioles might be looking at a little bit of a reflection in the mirror. The Orioles also, or the Shamrocks, also like to run a 3-3 stack. You will see a lot of blitzes, a lot of, as Coach Bless said in the pregame, you'll see them jump in and out of formations quite often, give you a lot of different looks, a lot of different fronts, bring blitzes from various ends and up the middle. And they have a very, very good linebacker in Jackson Garrett. He leads the team in tackles with 53 on the season, including 2.5 sacks. On the other side of the ball for the Orioles, well, that defense has just been flat out outstanding. As much press as the Oriole offense gets with Brandon Peters, Andrew Griffin, Matt Moore, Corey DePriest, Darian Love, all the accolades for the offense and a very high-powered offense for the Avon Orioles. It has been the defense the last 4 games that has really, really stepped up. In fact, Avon now the number 1 team in the HCC in points allowed, having only given up so far this season, just giving up over 17.5 points per game while scoring almost 38 points per game. It's been the defense led by Matt Thompson and A.J. Elcock that has done the damage for the Orioles so far this season, and both of them now leading the team in tackles is both Elcock and Thompson with 50 tackles each. Elcock has half of the team's 16 sacks this season. He has been a force off of the edge. And Timmy Osho, who has been playing very, very good in Gunnar Larson's absence, we saw Larson get into the game a little bit against Fishers. We still expect Timmy to start tonight's contest. Timmy, from that right defensive end, has had 30 tackles so far in this season and 1 sack. It has been the linebackers that have been doing the damage for the Orioles all season long. That group led by Thompson and backed up by Brody Good, Levi Hawk, and Zach Batustek. It's been a damaging defense. They have brought a lot of pressure, and it has been a defense that most teams have had a very, very difficult time running against. The only player that this season that has really been able to run against the Orioles was Brownsburg's Toksak and Rabati, and he did all his damage in the first half as the Orioles shut out the Bulldogs in that second half. In fact, over the last 10 quarters, Avon's defense has given up a grand total of 7 points. The Tigers scored 7 points on a bad snap on a punt last week that they returned for a touchdown, but Avon's defense has only given up 7 points in 10 quarters. So it's been the defense that has been the backbone right now of this 3-game winning streak for the Avon Orioles. But, of course, when Brandon Peters is back there, things really happen for the offense. Brandon has really only had one subpar game. That was the Hamilton Southeastern game. For the season, he's thrown for over 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, while giving up only 2 interceptions. He's also rushed for a pair of touchdowns. So a lot riding again on the 6'5", 210-pound senior quarterback Brandon Peters. It will be Darian Love that will get the start at tailback tonight. Meanwhile, Andrew Griffin, he is still having a stellar year. He has caught 43 passes for 726 yards. He's averaging 121 yards per game, and he has 12 touchdowns on the season. Matt Moore, the tight end, 381 yards receiving, 63 yards per game from your tight end, and 4 touchdowns on the season. So the offense has been getting better and better as they start spreading the ball out more to players like Harrison Weber. We've seen them try to get Jordan Peterson into the lineup, and last week we saw a little bit more of Drew Pankey Wallace. So as the offensive options open up for Brandon Peters, the opposing defensive coordinators, they're, I'm sure, having quite a few sleepless nights, same as the offensive coordinators for the opponents for Avon, as they try to figure out how they stop this very, very strong Oriole defense. If you're wondering why I'm doing all the talking tonight, that's because I'm alone tonight. My broadcast partner, the Indiana Football Hall of Famer Dave Shelbourne, he is not here tonight. He is up at his old high school in Highland, where he is being honored tonight before the Griffin Highland game. Of course, many of you know Coach Shelbourne that's where he got his start, and he is being honored there tonight. Both teams now coming out to midfield for the coin toss, and this could be actually a rather strategic point in this football game, as the winds are blowing, and the forecast earlier said that it would be winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Let's just say they are at 30 miles per hour, and they are blowing very, very swiftly. They're coming out of your end zone to your left from the far corner and going to the end zone to our right to the near corner, so kind of cross field. Avon won the toss, and they just went ahead and decided to defer, and Westfield is going to decide to receive. So Avon will have the choice of the wind, and again, this is more of a crosswind. We'll see how this affects both teams tonight as we get ready for football here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on game night in Hendricks County and Audio Sports Online. We hope you enjoy tonight's game, and like I said, you're going to hear a lot of me tonight. No Dave Shelbourne, just myself, Brian Scott, bringing you all the action here from Avon High School. Last 3 weeks of the regular season in the IHSAA football season. Sectionals, that'll be decided in 2 weeks before the Orioles wrap up the season against Noblesville here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Only one more road game left for Avon. That's next week at Zionsville. So it'll be Pepio and the Shamrock offense that'll get the ball to begin this contest, as Sam Perino will be kicking this football off. And Perino, who had a little bit of a slow start to begin the season, has now turned into one of the Hoosier Crossroads Conference best kickers. In 38 kickoffs, he has 8 touchbacks. That is leading the HCC, and his punting average is also among the league's best. The one thing Sam hasn't had to do a whole lot of, well, that's kicking field goals. He is 1 for 1 from 30 yards out. That happened last week against Fishers. Meanwhile, Westfield has one of the best kickers in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, William Harrison. He kicked a 50-yarder against Brownsburg last week. Back deep for the Shamrocks will be Drew Newstifler and Lucas Schultz, as we're getting ready for football here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Glad you could join us on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Orioles in the black with the white numerals and lettering, black helmets. Shamrocks in the green pants, white jerseys with green lettering, and the gold helmets. We're ready for football. We hope you are too. As Perino gets the signal, puts a left foot into it and kicks it deep. And this one is waved off as penalty flag back here at the 40-yard line, so one of the Orioles were offside on the kick. The Orioles will have the wind at their backs, and Perino really boomed that one deep. So 5 yards with this very, very stiff wind probably will not be that big of a challenge for Perino on a very blustery night. It feels like football. It feels like fall. Last week at Fishers, a very, very warm night. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Tonight, nowhere near the same. Temperatures in the mid-50s and falling at SIF 30-mile-per-hour wind. And we also have seen a few sprinkles. Some showers are possible throughout the game. So Perino will set and do this one again. Gets a foot into it and kicks it deep. And it'll be taken at the goal line, coming up to the 5, to the 10, 15, 20. And being dropped right down. Ball's loose, and the Orioles come away with the football. I believe Drew Newstifter was on the return. He took a big hit, and the Orioles fall on it. And that is going to make it 1st and 10 with a short field for the Avon Orioles, as Brandon Peters will have the ball in excellent field position to start this game at the Shamrock 22-yard line on the fumble on the kickoff return. The Orioles probably had a few what I would call fortunate breaks in the Fishers game on a couple of plays, and they get one to begin this contest. And Peters will start 1st and 10. Darian Love is the tailback. Matt Moore is also in the backfield on this 1st and 10 from the Shamrock 22-yard line. Brandon fires left side. Andrew Griffin, he makes the catch, and he is brought down immediately over there on the far side. Tackle looks like it was made by Noah Smith. Let's give you the offensive starters for the Avon Orioles. Across the offensive line, Nick Shoemaker, Ben Wilson, Ryan Dickinson, and then the freshmen on the right side, DJ Bowles and Addison Batten. The tight end is Matt Moore. The wideouts are Andrew Griffin and Harrison Weber. Jordan Peterson will also be making an appearance in there. The tailback is Darian Love, and the quarterback is the 6'5", 210-pound senior Brandon Peters. 2nd and 4 for the Avon Orioles. Ball at the Shamrock 17-yard line. Single back, that's Darian Love. He'll get the ball. He'll take the carry. He will take it right up the middle and not find a whole lot of room there before Noah Smith brings him down. Maybe even a gain of a half a yard. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Let's give you the Shamrocks defense. They run very similar to Avon, a 3-3 stack. Across the defensive front, Brian Skelton, Griffin Lickford, and Matthew Tungate. The linebackers are Justin Fry, Jackson Garrett, and Hank Grenda. The corners are Noah Smith, Martell Fletcher, and Jared Bea. And Kobe Hauser and Luke Lammers are the safeties. 3rd down and call it 4 for the Orioles from about the 16-yard line. Orioles trying to capitalize on a turnover here as Peters, he gets the ball out. Andrew Griffin gets by one man, and he will race into the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown pass. All Andrew Griffin. He had one man to beat to get around the corner. He beat the defender, and Griffin strolls into the end zone, and just like that, with 10:24 left to play in this first quarter, the Orioles are already up 6-0 pending Perino's point after. Just a simple little play. They got Griffin coming across. Peters hits him. All Andrew had to do was get around the corner. He beat the defender on the near side, and he just strolled into the end zone for the touchdown. Perino on for the point after. Sam on the season has converted 25 of 29. High snap. Griffin gets it down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 10:24 left to go, opening quarter, Orioles on the board first. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
The Orioles convert on the fumble on the kickoff return as Brandon Peters hits Andrew Griffin from 16 yards out, and the Orioles out in front 7-0. This one is going to hit the end zone as Perino gets it into the air, and Wynn pushes it into the end zone. And now the Shamrocks, who thought they were going to have the ball for the opening drive of this football game, now will take their first offensive snap, already down 7-0. That will bring out senior quarterback Ryan Pepio. Pepio on the season, as I mentioned, almost half of the Shamrock offense goes through him, whether throwing the ball or running the ball. He has thrown for almost 1,300 yards, rushed for over 375, and the give is to Karsnick as Brandon Karsnick finds some room around the right side. He breaks it free, and he will be brought down from behind after a fine run, tackled by Brody Good, but a big run by Brandon Karsnick, a 5'7", 150-pound senior. He has rushed for 392 yards this season, almost 78 yards a game, and he has a big one. And here are the Shamrocks with tempo. They will no huddle most of the game. Karsnick has the ball, runs around the right side. This time he won't get a whole lot, but he will have it second down and about 2. Let's set up the Shamrock offense. They'll run a multiple set and run mostly with the spread as quickly they will get ready for this next play. Across the offensive line, Jonathan Mandozzi, Jordan Long, Zach Krieg, Austin Dollins, and Spencer Stackra as the Shamrocks have this second down and 8, ball at their own 42. Here is Karsnick, looks for a little room around the left side, won't find a lot before Levi Hawk brings him down. The tight end for the Shamrocks is Bryce Sears, the wideout Lucas Schultz, Milo Beam, and Evan Manley. The running back Brandon Karsnick, the quarterback Ryan Pepio, and Pepio will have his offense in a 3rd and 7 at the Shamrocks' 43-yard line. They got a big run from Karsnick on the first play, but 2 successive runs have netted him only 4 yards. Pepio with 3 wideouts to the near side. He'll fake the handoff. He'll drop back to pass, throw it over the middle. Pass is complete and and the ball is separated as Lucas Schultz and Brian Fitzgerald, but it's after Fitzgerald made the hit, a penalty flag comes down as it looked like a good, clean drive through the receiver. Schultz unable to hold on to the football, but he got up, and let's see what the penalty flag's about. And they're going to call a targeting foul against Brian Fitzgerald and the Avon Orioles. And sorry, folks, not going to agree with that one. Bryant with a shoulder drove it through the sternum, and they have called him for targeting. And that's going to move the ball all the way up to the 36-yard line. So 1st and 10 on the penalty for the Shamrocks. Pepio will keep it himself. He'll look for some room around the left side. Won't find a whole lot as the Orioles defense strings it out. Let's give you the lineup. They called it a targeting, but Fitzgerald is still in the game. But let's give you the Orioles defense. Across the defensive front, Timmy Osho, C.J. Hunt, A.J. Elcock. The linebackers, Brody Good, Levi Hawk, Zach Batusta getting the start at outside backer. The corners are Lance Meyer and Scott Campbell. Andrew Griffin and Brian Fitzgerald are the safeties, and Matt Thompson will be the rover tonight. 2nd down and 8, ball at the Oriole 34-yard line. Pepio back to pass, fires over the middle into the hands of Brian Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald with a spin to the 35-40, 45-50. He will go all the way. Brian Fitzgerald steps in and returns the football. It will be a 72-yard interception return for a touchdown. And the Orioles out in front 13-0. Fitzgerald just stepped in front of the receiver as Pepio had pretty much locked in on his intended receiver, which was Evan Manley. Milo Beam. And Fitzgerald came in playing safety today and just made one of those plays like he makes every single game. This one, an interception return for a touchdown, his second of the season. High snap. Griffin gets it down. Perino's kick is up, and it is good. 8:08 left to go. First quarter of play. Avon up on top, 14-0. Back with a kickoff in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900.
Bryant Fitzgerald, a 72-yard interception return for a touchdown, his second of the season. And the Avon Orioles up 14-0 over Westfield. This was a few plays after Fitzgerald was called for what they called a targeting penalty, as he looked like he separated the ball from Lucas Schultz immediately after a hit. But they called the penalty, but he turns the tables on the Shamrocks and gets the pick six. A 72-yard interception return for a touchdown, and the Orioles are up 14-0, and that wind blowing the football off the tee, so Perino will get a little bit of help as he gets ready to kick this football away. So the Shamrocks, Ryan Pepio with the interception is intercepted, and Perino getting ready to kick this ball away. He will get it. He'll get it into the air, and it'll be recovered in the end zone for a touchback. For Pepio on the season, that was his 6th interception against 5 touchdowns. So the defense scores. The offense has scored. Of course, the fumble recovery on the kickoff return to open the game set up the offense with a short field. So everything breaking right for the Orioles to begin this football game, and now the Shamrocks take the field with still 8 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the opening quarter, but they find themselves down 2 touchdowns as Pepio and the offense return to the field. They'll start 3 wide. Pepio will give to Karsnick, and he will go over the right side and find very, very little room before he's brought down by Timmy Osho. Osho, 30 tackles in the season. He is in for Gunnar Larson. Now Larson feeling better. He will see some snaps as the game progresses, but Timmy Osho has been playing very, very well over at that left defensive end. So we will go 2nd and 10. No gain on the play, and Pepio will send 3 wides to the far side of the field. Karsnick will line back at him in the pistol. Pepio will keep it himself. Quarterback draw, runs to the right side. He is going to be tripped up. Zach Batustak, I believe, got him with a bit of a shoestring tackle. Pepio will be, looks like a couple of yards shy of the first down. That'll bring up 3rd down and short. Delayed quarterback draw, designed all the way, and that's what Pepio will do. He will run the ball. He is a very good athlete with very good speed. 3rd and 3. Shamrocks, and the give is to Karsnick, and he will not make the first down. He was hit at the hole as coming in, I believe, was Timmy Osho, or it might have been, but it was Bryant Fitzgerald to finish Karsnick off, and Brandon Karsnick not finding a whole lot of room, and now Coach Jake Gilbert will have to send the punting unit out. So things not going all that well for Coach Gilbert and the Shamrocks to begin this game. They got a first down on their first true drive on offense as Brandon Karsnick popped about a 15, 20-yard run. But since then, it's been all Oriole defense. Back deep will be Matt Moore and Brian Fitzgerald for the Orioles as William Harrison is got the fake. Bad snap, and he's going to be brought down. Scott Campbell brings him down on a bad snap, couldn't handle it, and right now everything breaking right for the Orioles. Special teams, 2 flubs for the Shamrocks. The fumble on the kickoff return, and now the botched punt. And once again, the Orioles find themselves in excellent field position at the Shamrock 16-yard line. Last time they were on the Shamrock 16-yard line, Brandon Peters hit Andrew Griffin for a 16-yard touchdown. And now we've lost our scoreboard. And it's back. Play clock down to 10 as the Orioles hit the line of scrimmage with 4 wides. Peters with a single back. Brandon will give it off, and right up the middle is Brian Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald will take it down to the 6-yard line for a pickup of about 10. And they will take a look, and they will say it is 2nd down and very, very short. So 2nd down. And now officials are going to call timeout. They may come and make a measurement. This will either be 2nd and about a half a football, or it'll be 1st and goal from about the 6 as the officials bring the chains over from the far side. Well, we heard in the pregame show it's getting to be very difficult not to find a place for Bryant Fitzgerald to have him not on the field. He's already returned as an interception return for a touchdown. He cranks off about a 10-yard. He does get the first down, a 10-yard run on the first play of scrimmage after the turnover on downs. And last week they kept him in, and he ran it in from about this distance, so it was about 7 yards out. Fitzgerald will stay in. Drew Pankey-Wallace and Harrison Weber to the far side. Matt Moore will line up tight end right. Andrew Griffin, he has single coverage on the near side. We'll see if they elect to go to Andrew through the corner, which is something Brandon loves to throw in this situation. 1st and goal, they do. They throw the corner pass. There's Andrew Griffin, and it's in and out of his hands. He had single coverage. Brandon trying to go with that back shoulder throw, and good job defensively there on that near side, as coming over and making the play was, I believe, Noah Smith. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 6. 5:46 remains in this first quarter of play. Avon already up 14-0. And an excellent scoring position once again. They will once again have single coverage here on the near side. This time Cody Hauser has Griffin. Fitzgerald stays in as the tailback on the 2nd and goal from the 6. Peters gives it to Bryant. Bryant, stutter step, takes it straight up the middle, and he'll gain about 3 yards down to about the 3-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 3. Third and goal from the from the Shamrock 3-yard line. Shamrocks look like they will stay in a man-to-man, and if they bring out Griffin here near side, which they will, he'll work against Kobe Hauser. And Andrew with a bit of a height difference in favor of Andrew working on Hauser. 3rd and goal from the 3. But the give is to Fitzgerald. He'll dive forward, and no signal yet. Still no signal. And they're going to say he's just shy of the goal line. So Fitzgerald takes it to about a foot of the goal line, and that'll bring up 4th and goal from inside the 1, and really no decision here. And Brandon Peters comes in. You could go either with Peters at 6'5", 210. He could hand it off to Fitzgerald, or I imagine they'll just let Peters get behind Ryan Dickinson and see if he can just plow this in from about a half yard out. Peters will bend under center with Fitzgerald the lone tailback. 4th and inside the 1. They'll give it to Fitzgerald, and he will run it in from a yard out on the left side, and the Orioles strike again. Brian Fitzgerald with his 2nd touchdown, officially a 1-yard run, and the Orioles are up 20-0 with still 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go, opening quarter, and Perino on for the point after. So all Avon in this first quarter. Whatever could go wrong for the Shamrocks has, as Perino puts the foot into it, and the kick is up. The kick is good. 4:14 left to go. First quarter. The Orioles way out in front of the Shamrocks, 21-0. This is Oriole football on ASO and XRBRadio.com.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech.
Brian Fitzgerald runs it in from 1 yard out as the Orioles take advantage of the special teams gaffe by the Shamrocks. And they take it from 16 yards in. Finished by Brian Fitzgerald, 1 yard run, and it is 21-0 as a rainbow has now appeared off to the southeast as this ball is going to be taken at the 2 yard line up to the 10, 15, and taken down at about the 16 yard line. So the return does not make it back to the 20 yard line. Drew Newstifter, who had the fumble on the opening kickoff, and we got rainbows on each side as a big omen for the Orioles is, again, with 4 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in this opening quarter, they lead 21-0. And the defense, which just had a few moments ago a pick six by Bryant Fitzgerald, back out onto the field. And Ryan Pepio in this Shamrock offense going to have to see what they can get going. They like to run the football. And I'm sure coming into this game, one of the things that Coach Gilbert was hoping he could do is keep the ball out of Peters' hands. As on the run option, the quarterback will keep it, and he will take it right up the middle and gain maybe a yard or two at that on the read option. Coach Gilbert, I'm sure, trying to keep Brandon Peters on the sideline, but right now, the way they're keeping Peters on the sideline is the Orioles are scoring touchdowns. So 3:42 left to go, first quarter of play. As Pepio back to pass, 3 wide to the right side. They set up the screen, and they make the catch with the ball a little bit behind the intended receiver, Lucas Schultz. Schultz made a nice adjustment and caught the football, but he goes down right there. It's a gain of maybe just a yard or two, and it'll bring up third down and about 6. Ball will be at the 21-yard line of the Shamrocks. Clock running, 3:16 left to go in this first quarter of play. Westfield is Pepio checks to the sideline. They'll run 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Brandon Karsdick, the lone tailback. And now they will shift Schultz over to the near side and have 4 wides, 2 on each side. Pepio takes the snap. Pressure comes up the middle, throws to the right side. Pass in and out of the hands of Milo Beam. Bryant Fitzgerald in coverage, and that's going to bring up 4th and 5. So another 3 and out coming up for the Westfield Shamrocks. And Fitzgerald and Matt Moore will once again go deep. And William Harrison, who had all sorts of problems on the last punt, and he ended up eating it for a turnover on downs, giving the Orioles a short field. He'll be back this time at about his own 6-yard line. Moore and Fitzgerald stand at about their own 44. Rugby-style kick. He gets a low-line drive away. It'll take a bounce. It'll go into Oriole territory, and it will take a good Shamrock bounce and be down at the 41-yard line. And that is where the Avon Orioles begin play, but not yet. There is a penalty flag back at the 21-yard line. So back at the line of scrimmage, there is a penalty flag as the officials sort this one out. And they are talking with Scott Campbell. So this one it is going to go against Avon. So it's a post-possession foul, but they will mark them. Let's see what the call was. Didn't see the signal initially. It is a 10-yard penalty back to the 31-yard line, evidently post-possession. Coach Mark Bless wanting to understand what the call was about, not getting any satisfaction. He's had a couple of differences of opinions with this officiating crew already, and But what he does know is that his offense will start 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line, up 3 touchdowns and 2:46 remaining in this opening quarter of play. Brian Scott with you from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, flying solo tonight. Dave Shelbourne being honored up at Highland High School, his old stomping grounds. 1st and 10, Peters back to pass. Fires downfield, looking for Harrison Weber, and he overthrows him. Weber had a couple of steps, but looks like a little hand fighting going down the field, and no penalty flag, and the Orioles take a shot down the field, and they will have it 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. A good stiff wind. Like I said, this wind blowing out of the northeast, so as you are looking at it on your monitor or listening to it on your speakers, this field runs north-south, so it's coming out of the far corner of the left end zone to the near corner of the right end zone. Darian Love with the carry right up the middle, spins off one tackle, and Darian will gain about 7 yards on the play up to about the 38-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Avon. Darian Love getting the start. He had a good game against Fishers last week and a really nice game against Whiteland the week before, and he is in there at tailback to start this game, though Brian Fitzgerald had those runs on that last series to punch it into the end zone. 3rd and about 3. Love is the tailback. 2 wideouts to the near side. That's Weber and Peterson. To the far side, Griffin and Moore on 3rd down and 3. Looks over a 3-man front. And the play clock has reached 0, so a delay of game will make this a little more difficult as they will back the Orioles up 5 yards, and what was 3rd and 3 will become 3rd and 8, spotted at the 33-yard line of Avon. So the play clock expires, and Peters will bring the play into the huddle. As the clock continues to move, 1:45 left to go in this first quarter of play. All Avon, 21-0. But 3rd and long for the Orioles here. As play clock under 10. Love will move to the right. Shamrocks, everybody up. They'll bring the blitz up the middle. Peters fires. He has Griffin. Griffin, nice adjustment. Back shoulder throw. Griffin has the football at the 44-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down for Avon. Shamrocks brought everybody up the middle, one-on-one coverage near side. And Griffin had a one-on-one with the defensive back. Brandon throws a nice little back shoulder throw. Griffin with a nice adjustment. And the Orioles convert on 3rd and long to keep the drive alive. And the clock will move as they start the chains with 1:23 left to go in this first quarter. Moore, Peterson, and Weber to the far side. Griffin all alone to the near side. Love is still the tailback. Peters out of the gun. 1st and 10 from the Oriole 44-yard line. Blitz comes from the outside. Here's the give to Darian Love, and Love will just take it right up the gut and gain about 8 yards on the play into Shamrock territory at about the 48-yard line. So a pickup of 8 on the play for the 5'8", 175-pound senior tailback Darian Love, and brings up 2nd and short. Moore and Griffin to the far side. Jordan Peterson to the near side. Harrison Weber will also be lined up to the left as they move Darian Love to the right of Brandon Peters. 35 seconds left in this first quarter. Play clock down to 10. Peters takes the snap. Peters, great protection, fires over the middle. Pass complete to Matt Moore. As the Shamrock saying incomplete, the coaching staff saying incomplete, the officials saying it is complete, and now we're going to have a discussion about it. Coach Jay Gilbert very vehement that it was incomplete, and they will move the chains. So it is a completion of Matt Moore, a fine catch all the way down to the Shamrock 27-yard line, and with 24.5 seconds, the Orioles do not have to run a play, but they do have the wind at their back. So I'm sure they're going to try to get one off here before they have to switch ends and really face more of the wind. 4 wideouts, 2 to each side of the formation. The give is slow. No, play action pass. Fires over the middle, into the hands and into the end zone. Jordan Peterson Peterson from 27 yards out, and the Orioles strike again. They lead now 27-0. That's a 27-yard pass from Peters to Jordan Peterson. That is the second touchdown pass for Brandon tonight. And Perino, with 6.5 seconds remaining in the quarter, is setting up for his fourth PAT. High snap. Griffin gets it down. Perino gets it through. And with 6.5 seconds remaining, the seventh-ranked Avon Orioles all over the eighth-ranked in Class 5A Westfield Shamrocks, 28-0. Back with a kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Running out of space, tired of the clutter, but don't want to part with your possessions? We have a solution for that at Northfield Self Storage in Brownsburg. Whether you need a little extra storage or a larger space, our storage units ranging from 5x10 to 10x30 will surely take care of your needs. We also carry packing supplies such as boxes, tape, bubble wrap, and a whole lot more. Come see Northfield Self Storage and U-Haul at 1530 West Northfield Drive in Brownsburg, open 7 days a week. Brandon Peters finds Jordan Peterson from 27 yards out. Perino point after is good. 6.5 seconds left in this first quarter, and Avon up 28-0. Brian Scott with you from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium as Sam Perino puts a foot into it, and this one's going to go into the end zone, and the Shamrocks will have it 1st and 10 on their 20, and they are simply going to have to see what they can do offensively. Offense hasn't really been that much of a problem for Coach Gilbert's Shamrocks this year. They come in averaging over 31 points per game. It's defense that has been the problem, and that's so far evident tonight. Shamrocks giving up 32 points per game, and they've almost met their game average in the first quarter here at Avon. So Pepio and the offense onto the field with 6.5 seconds left. They will have, again, this is more of a cross win, but those that are moving, the team that moves from left to right will have a little bit more of the wind at their back. So Pepio facing the wind, he'll be turning around in 6.5 seconds to go the other way. 4 wideouts, 3 to the top of the formation. Pepio, the only man in the backfield, he'll take the direct snap and run right into a whole bunch of black-clad Oriole defenders. He might get a yard, but that is all. And with that play, that is the end of the first quarter as the score. The Avon Orioles all over the Westfield Shamrocks, 28-0. Back with the second quarter right after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
If you're a business owner, with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
We begin the second quarter with the Orioles out in front of the Shamrocks 28-0. Shamrocks have 2nd and 8 from their own 22. Pepio will keep it himself. He'll go the left side, and he will be very close to a first down, but he will be about a yard short. That's going to bring up 3rd down and short for the Shamrocks. All Orioles in that first quarter. And the Shamrocks with some special teams gaffes that have led to directly to 14 Oriole punts. Pepio will keep it himself, and he will not get there as the backside pursuit comes in and brings Pepio down short of the line of scrimmage. Timmy Osho came and made the tackle. C.J. Hunt cleaned it up, and Pepio's going to be shy of the yard-to-gain marker by maybe a yard. No, they'll say final push. They gave him the nose of the football is just ticking the 30-yard line, so they will give him the first down. It looked like he was stopped short, and that football right there on the cusp of the 30-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. It looked like the Orioles had stopped him short of the line to gain, but it will be 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. 3 wides to the near side. Pepio, the lone player in the backfield. Orioles show blitz from the middle. There they come. Pepio fires over the middle, pass in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. He was looking for the tight end that had just taken about a few steps right down the middle. It was Bryce Sears, and it was not Bryce Sears, but it was incomplete as it went in and out of the receiver's hands. And that is going to bring up 2nd down and 10. So 2nd and 10 for the Shamrocks, as Pepio and the offense will see if they can get anything to going on this drive. They've just barely got a first down. Play action pass. Pepio, he gets pressured. He comes from behind, and C.J. Hunt first there to make a contact. Timmy Osho there to finish it off, and Pepio is going to be dropped all the way back to the 20-yard line. A loss of 10 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 20. So a big play defensively for the Orioles. And the Shamrocks find themselves once again now in 3rd and long as they switch out packages. Brandon Karsnick, the lone tailback. They'll bring to the near side Max McCool. He'll be joined by Milo Beam. 3rd and 20. Pepio finds his wide receiver Max McCool on the near side. He'll pick up 15, but he'll still be 5 yards short as the Orioles keep everything in front, preventing the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and 5, and they will bring out William Harrison once again to punt the football. Well, we've been seeing this more and more from this Orioles secondary where they were getting beat badly in the first few games. Now, much better job of coverage. They keep everybody up front, tackle them immediately. And while it's a gain of 15, it's still nowhere close to a first down. And the Shamrocks will be forced to punt. This time, Harrison with the wind at his back, and he will get that ball up in the air. Brian Fitzgerald will take it at the 23. He'll look for a room. Still looking. He's dancing. He's trying to spin, and he's not going to be able to go much further before he is brought down, tackled by Hank Grenda, and the Orioles will have the football 1st and 10 with 9:17 remaining in this first half, up 4 touchdowns against the Westfield Shamrocks. Ball will be spotted at the 23-yard line of the Orioles, and Peters and the offense back out onto the field as Corey DePriest is in at tailback for Avon. We've seen Darian Love. We've seen Brian Fitzgerald. Now Corey DePriest in at running back. 3 wides to the top of the formation on 1st and 10. Peters will give it to DePriest. DePriest slashes through a hole on the right side, and he will barge up to just beyond the 30-yard line, close to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 8 yards for DePriest on a nice run to begin this drive. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2. Clock under 9 minutes left to go first half. 28-0. All Orioles in this football game. Harrison Weber to the far side. Drew Pankey Wallace is coming to the near side. They'll work Andrew Griffin slot left. DePriest is the tailback with Matt Moore in the backfield as well. The give is to DePriest. He'll take it up the middle. And Corey will have the first down up to the 34-yard line. And it should be 1st and 10 for the Avon Orioles. Orioles in this quarter will be moving into, again, it's a fairly stiff win, and I would say now it is definitely blowing much more into the face of the Avon offense, but with a 4-touchdown lead and getting good yardage on the ground, they may be content to just see what they can get on the ground before putting the ball up, though Peters has the arm to get the ball through the air. 1st and 10, 4 wideouts, 3 to the top. Shamrocks show blitz from the left side. Here they come, and then the flags come out because it looks like another delay of game penalty as the illegal procedure. Play clock was almost down to 0, but somebody moved. And either way, it is still a 5-yard penalty that'll push the Orioles back. As when all is said and done, the football will be marked at the 30-yard line. 1st and 15, Avon. Clock now moving once again as we hit the 8-minute mark left to go, second quarter. 28-0 is our score. All Avon. 4 wideouts, 3 to the top, but the give is to DePriest. He gets by one man, makes another miss to the 40, to the 45, and he's tripped up. There making the tackle was Jared Baya, and it'll be a gain of 14, a yard shy, but a very, very nice run from Corey DePriest that goes from 1st and 15 to 2nd and 1 from the Oriole 44-yard line. So the Orioles getting good contributions from the running game from all three, Fitzgerald, Love, and now DePriest on this drive. 3 wideouts, all to the near side, 1 to the far side, I should say, as Peters looks over the front. And he will give it to Corey. Corey finds a hole, and he will pick up about 4, more than enough for another Oriole first down beyond the 45, close to the 48-yard line. And the Orioles will move the chains and keep the clock running. Ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for Avon. So with that win, the Orioles testing out this, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you can't stop it the first time, just keep running it. And right now, that is what Avon's doing. They are just keep running the football. They'll have 2 wideouts on the near side, 1 to the far side. Matt Moore is a tight end right on this 1st and 10 from the Oriole 48-yard line. And the play clock has once again reached 0. So second delay of game called against the Orioles. And the 5 yards will move it back to the 43-yard line. Where once again, the Orioles find themselves in 1st and 15. Play clock was winding down on the previous set of downs, and instead of a delay of game, the Orioles were called for an illegal procedure penalty. This time the delay of game is called, and the result is the same, 1st and 15 for Avon. They'll keep the same formation with DePriest to the right of Peters. Blitz comes from the middle, and DePriest loses the football, but Brandon Peters is able to fall on it. Pressure came up the middle from the linebacking core of Westfield. And the ball's it's going to be a loss of about 4 yards all the way back to the 38-yard line. And so that is going to make it about 2nd down and 20. So 2nd and 20 for the Orioles after the fumbled exchange. DePriest stays in the game. They'll use Harrison Weber to the near side. He's locked in one-on-one coverage, but he does have some help coming up from the safety. But DePriest, this is the reverse. Andrew Griffin, he has a blocker penalty flag, though, and Griffin's just going to run out of bounds as he had blockers out in front with Matt Moore, but this penalty flag is going to be brought back on what will be a holding penalty called against Avon. Good play call as DePriest took the handoff flip to Griffin on the reverse. Matt Moore was set up as a lead blocker coming down the near sideline, but the penalty flag is deep in Oriole territory, and the Orioles are moving in reverse, and they are going to be deep in their own territory when all is said and done. And they are going to face 2nd down and about a half acre to go when this one is set up with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Avon has to get all the way down to the Shamrock 42-yard line to get a first down. And they'll face 2nd down and 38 yards to go. Clock moving, 5:42 left to go first half. So we are chewing up time in this first half of play. Then they will just hand off to Priest, takes it up the middle, and he will be brought down after a gain on the play, tackled by Jackson Garrett, the middle linebacker. Garrett is their leading tackler for the Shamrocks. He's got 53 tackles on the season, 6 of them for loss and 2.5 sacks. And it'll bring up third down and about 34 yards to go. So a long way to go for Avon. They've been content to just run the ball. The wind is going to be in the face of Sam Perino, however. Dupree stays in at tailback. He'll line up to the right. Andrew Griffin to the near side. Weber and Panky Wallace to the far side on this 3rd and 34. But the give is to Dupree. He finds some room near side to the 30, cuts it up, and gets tripped up by the hash mark and goes down at about the 35-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down, and Sam Perino is going to be on for the first time tonight to punt the football. Perino averaging almost 35 yards a punt. And again, that is something he has gotten noticeably better as the season has progressed. His kicking in general has been very, very good, especially over the last 4 or 5 games. This time he's going to have a stiff wind in his face as Kobe Hauser back deep for the Shamrocks. So Perino set to punt the football away. A little bit of a high snap. He gets it off, and he gets a nice punt that's going to be killed by the air. Hauser will take it at the 44, and he called a fair catch, evidently, and that is where the Shamrocks going. It was a great punt by Perino. Got a good spiral, got it turned over, but once it got into that stiff wind, the wind held it up. Hauser called the fair catch, and the Shamrocks will take over 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line, trailing 28-0 in this first quarter of play. Brian Scott with you tonight from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium as the 7th-ranked Orioles in Class 6A lead the 8th-ranked in Class 5A Westfield Shamrocks 28-0. Flying solo tonight, my broadcast partner Dave Shelbourne being rightly honored at his old high school, Highland. Here's a give. Karsnick looks for some room on the right side. He'll gain maybe a yard or two, and that is going to be all. A.J. Elcock there to make the tackle after a gain of, they'll give him 3 yards. Up to the 47-yard line goes Brandon Karsnick, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 7 for the Shamrocks. Clock continues to move. 3:41 left to go in this first half. So the Orioles, while they couldn't get the first down on that last drive, they did eat up a lot of clock here in this second quarter. Orioles show blitz. Here they come. Jailbreak. They get to the quarterback. He fires. It's complete. As getting the reception is Will McCool. And they list him at 5'9", 161. That's probably a little bit of an underestimate because that was a big boy, but he was brought down. Tackled by Darnell Tolliver, who's into the game, a 5'9", 135-pound senior corner for the Orioles. But it's a first down into Oriole territory at the 42-yard line as they start the clock once again after they move the chains. 4 wideouts for the Shamrocks, 2 to each side of the formation. Pepio with Karsnick to his right, working out of the gun, a 3-man front for the Orioles. Pepio on the keep. He gets into the second line of defense, and he'll have a nice gain before being tripped up and brought down by Ian Pendleton. But it's a gain of almost 10 yards. Let's see where they spot the football. And he will... Looks like he's going to be he'll be shy by about a half a yard, 2nd and 1. And the Shamrocks waiting to get this play clock. The game clock's still running. Shamrocks with all 3 timeouts left, but they are spending a lot of time looking over to that far sideline. And once they get ready to run this play, the play clock is down to 7 seconds. Pepio takes the ball, fires, looking, has a man deep, and he drops it in on a dime as coming up with the touchdown, Evan Manley. He will do it from 32 yards out as Manley got behind the defender, Darnell Tolliver. And the Shamrocks are on the scoreboard with their first touchdown, a 32-yard pass from Pepio to Ryan Manley. And the Shamrocks are an extra point away from being down 28-7. Nice throw by Pepio. Manley, little stop-and-go route down the near sideline. He got behind Darnell Tolliver, and a very, very nice throw from the senior quarterback for Westfield as he dropped it in his hands. Harrison's point after is good, and with 2:13 remaining in the first half, the Shamrocks are on the board, but they still trail the Orioles 28-7. Back with a kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online. Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. Stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy. 32-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Peprio to Evan Manley, and Shamrocks are on the board. They still trail by 3 touchdowns, however. 28-7 with 2:13 remaining in this first half. Brian Scott with you tonight from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, the home of the Avon Orioles. Is William Harrison getting ready to kick this ball away, but the ball blows off the tee. Again, a stiff wind tonight, though it looks like it has lightened up a little bit here as we get toward halftime at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. It was a good stiff 30, 35 mile per hour wind at the start of the game. It is gusting still at times, and it blew the football off the tee that last just a moment ago, but it's not quite as brisk as it was when this football game started. William Harrison ready to kick off. Corey DePriest and Brian Fitzgerald back deep for the Orioles. Harrison puts a foot into it, and Fitzgerald will take it at the 6. He'll go to the 15, 20, 25, turns on the afterburners and gets it past the 25 and up to about the 28-yard line. And Avon has the football up by 3 touchdowns and 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in this first half. And we'll see what head coach Mark Bless elects to do. Avon will have the ball to begin the second half, but they do have all 3 timeouts remaining. So Peters brings the offense out, and they will send Weber and Peterson to the near side, Andrew Griffin far side. Brian Fitzgerald is the tailback, Matt Moore in the backfield to the right as Peters works out of the gun on this 1st and 10. The give is to Fitzgerald. He tries to spin, but he's not going to find a whole lot of room before he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. First hit was made by Hank Grenda, the weak side linebacker, a 6 foot, 188-pound junior, for maybe a gain of yard for Brian up to the 30-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 9, and the Orioles content to run out this first half up by 3 touchdowns as they head to the line of scrimmage with 1:34 on the game clock and still 16 seconds on the play clock. Griffin and Weber to the near side. Jordan Peterson is to the far side. Fitzgerald is still the back, and Matt Moore stays in the backfield as well. And now penalty flag from the far side, and they're going to call offsides, I believe, against Westfield. Somebody lined up in the neutral zone. Oh, they had somebody for Avon lined up in the neutral zone. So somebody lined up wrong as they came to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to cost Avon 5. So an Oriole offensive player lined up in the neutral zone, and that cost Avon 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 14 with the ball. That was the football at the 25-yard line. And as they come to the line of scrimmage, it is the Shamrocks that are going to call a timeout with 1:13. The clock restarted once they marked off the yardage, so the Orioles had a fresh 25-second play clock to kill and have the game clock winding down. So Coach Jake Gilbert elects to call the first of his 3 timeouts. We'll take a timeout as well. 1:13 left to go first half. All Avon right now. They lead 28-7. Back in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Orioles, after the timeout, will have 2nd and 14 from their own 25-yard line. A minute 13 remains in this first half. Avon with a 28-7 lead. They've been working into the wind here in this second quarter, and they've been pretty much keeping the football on the ground this entire second quarter. It has allowed for, and now the game clock has gone down to 11.8, so they will have to reset the game clock. So they are correcting the clock on the scoreboard as a little bit of a malfunction, and when they get that settled, the Orioles will have it 1st and 10, up 21 points. As I said, all 28 of their points came in the first quarter, and they have been kept off the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the Shamrocks just scored on a 32-yard Ryan Pepio to Evan Manley touchdown, and that put their first points of the football game on the scoreboard. So they are still attempting to get the clock situation here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium rectified. Again, Brian Scott with you, flying solo tonight as they've got the clock set up. Dave Shelbourne up at Highland, Indiana, his old high school, being honored tonight. 2nd and 14 as Peters in the offense gets ready on this play. The give is to Fitzgerald. He looks for some room, gets around the outside corner, and he will be pushed out of bounds. As pushing him out of bounds over here on the near side, I believe, was Jackson Garrett, but not before Fitzgerald is able to get some nice yardage beyond they'll say about the 40, and running off to the side is Kobe Hauser, as he looked to be in a little bit of pain. Needed 14, and Brian Fitzgerald got just a little bit above 14. As a matter of fact, this time the white line of the 40-yard line benefits the Orioles like it did the Shamrocks a little earlier in the contest. It's just enough for a first down, so Avon has it 1st and 10 from their own 40. Clock stopped as Fitzgerald went out of bounds. Play clock now under 9. 3 wideouts, 2 to the near side to the short boundary. But the give is to Fitzgerald. Looks for some room, gets around the right side, and he's going to be ridden down from behind after he picks up a couple of yards on the play before he is Jared Baya with the tackle for the Shamrocks. It's a pickup of 2, but the clock continues to run as we are under 50 seconds left to go in this first half. It'll be 2nd and 8. At halftime, we'll take a look at what's happening in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference tonight, who's playing where, what's the standings look like. Also take a look at who's playing where in Hendricks County tonight. 2nd and 8. Peters, they'll give it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will just simply take it right up the middle, get beyond the 45-yard line, close to the 46-yard line, and now the Shamrocks will call timeout with 20.2 seconds left, and they may have to actually put a second or two back on the clock, as they will have to put some time back on the clock as the clock continued to run after the timeout was called. We'll keep it right here with 20.2 seconds left, and the Orioles up 28-7. Again, only 3 games remaining. This, of course, the high school football season moving way too fast. 2/3 of the regular season in the books. Only 3 games left. And for the Orioles, 2 of the 3 games at home. Of course, tonight's game against Westfield. The Orioles are on the road for the final time in the regular season next week at Zionsville, the first time the Orioles have played at that brand new facility. And then back home to take on the Noblesville Millers to wrap up the season on October 16th. And then we will find out sectional assignments before that game as well. Should be a very, very interesting sectional with Ben Davis Pike in Brownsburg. I'm sure the Orioles would like another shot at the Giants. The Bulldogs would like a shot at the Orioles, and Pike would just like to beat whoever they play no matter what. So we'll see how that goes in a couple of weeks. Still some business to be done here in the regular season as the Orioles face 3rd and 5, 3 wides to the near side. DePriest is alone back. 26 seconds remain in the half. Peters back to pass. Plenty of time all day long. Fires over middle. Has Harrison Weber at the 38. And Weber will finally be ridden down inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. But a penalty flag back at the 44-yard line. And this looks like it's coming back. Looked like great protection for Brandon Peters. Maybe a little too good, as one of the offensive linemen is evidently called for holding. And what would have been a 20-yard pass completion is going to be negated, and they'll mark the ball back 10 yards back to the 35, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 15, but only 18.3 seconds remain on the clock. Shamrocks have a timeout remaining and they round the clock because it was a completed pass. So the Orioles do not have to run a play, and Peters actually will run a play. He'll give it to DePriest. DePriest will run to the near side, try to cut it upfield, and he'll get it beyond the 40. And not sure Brandon realized he didn't really have to run a play off, but he did, and that's the end of the first half of play. The Orioles scored 28 points in the first quarter, and they head to the locker rooms leading 28-7. We'll be back with some halftime thoughts here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations, including the new Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandising, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and you can give them a call at 579-7900. Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech. We'd like to thank Citywide Paving for their support of Avon football and our Avon football broadcast this year.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Back at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, it's halftime, and the Avon Orioles, ranked 7th in Class 6A, are leading the 8th-ranked team in Class 5A, the Westfield Shamrocks, by the score 28-7. Brian Scott with you tonight. Flying solo, Dave Shelbourne being honored tonight at his old high school up in Highland as they have a bit of a reunion tonight, so we wish congratulations to Coach Shelbourne, and we'll see him next week at Zionsville. Avon got on the board early in this contest as Westfield, on the opening kickoff of the football game, fumbled the opening kickoff. The Orioles recovered, and quickly the Orioles were into the end zone after Brandon Peters hit Andrew Griffin from 16 yards out. Sam Perino's point after was good, and the Orioles quickly were out in front 7-0 with 10:24 left to go in the opening quarter of play. It went downhill from there for the Shamrocks, especially in that first quarter. On the ensuing possession by Westfield, Brian Fitzgerald stepped in front of a Ryan Pepio pass, returned it 72 yards for an interception return from a touchdown with 8:08 left to go in the first quarter. Avon quickly up 14-0. It quickly escalated to 21-0 after the Orioles took a Shamrock punt, and Brandon Peters later found Jordan Peterson in the end zone from 27 yards out. Perino's point after was good. Second touchdown pass from Brandon Peters, and it was 21-0 Avon. It quickly went to 28-0 as the Brian Peters, Jordan Peterson from Brandon Peters pass was good there. Brian Fitzgerald had the 73-yard interception return from a touchdown. He also had a 1-yard touchdown run in between there, and the Peters to Jordan Peterson pass made it 28-0. The Shamrocks got on the board when Ryan Pepio hit Evan Manley from 32 yards out, and that's our score at halftime, 28-7. The Orioles, all 28 points in the first quarter, nothing in the second quarter, but they were facing into a stiff win, and it was obvious that Coach Mark Bless had elected to, with that very, very stiff win, he was going to see if they could run the football. For the most part, the Orioles were very effective running the football, but penalties have really bit the Orioles big time in this football game, several at some very costly intervals, and they could have really run out a lot more of that second quarter clock had they been able to keep away from the penalties there in the second quarter and convert a few of those plays to keep the clock running. But as it is, they hold the Shamrocks to only 7 points in that first half. That is the first, except for the Fishers game last night, now 14 points by the Orioles defense now in 12 quarters. So the Orioles defense still playing very, very well. Fitzgerald, 2 touchdowns in the first half, 1 on the interception return, 1 on the ground. So he continues to play very, very well. Darian Love is running the ball well. Corey DePriest has been running the ball well with the wind at their backs. Brandon Peters is just finding guys open all night long, and it's been a total domination so far by the Orioles in this first half. We'll see if they can continue that in the second half. Let's take a look right now at what is going on. First off, taking a look at what is going on in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference entering play tonight. Taking a look at the Hoosier Crossroads Conference standings, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals are at the top of the standings. They are undefeated in HCC play, 5-1 overall. Their lone loss was a season-opening loss to Carmel. And matter of fact, the Avon Orioles, they might be kicking themselves once the season is over with. They led Hamilton Southeastern at Hamilton Southeastern on the very late Friday night, where the kickoff was delayed by 2 hours due to inclement weather. Avon led by 11 points. Watched Hamilton Southeastern put 11 points on in the final minute of play in that game to come away with the win. Hamilton Southeastern 4-0 in conference play, 5-1 overall, winners of their last 5. Avon is in second place. They have played one fewer game than Hamilton Southeastern. 2-1 in conference play are the Orioles, 4-2 overall. Orioles winners of their last 3. Fishers drops to 2-2 after last week's loss to Avon. 2-2 overall, 4-2 overall, 2-2 in conference play. The Fishers Tigers are on. They are having a special game tonight. I'll tell you about that in a minute. This Westfield Shamrock team won their first 4 games of the season. They've lost their last 2. They're 2-2 in conference play, 4-2 overall. Noblesville follows 1-2 in conference play, 3-3 overall. The Brownsburg Bulldogs picked up their first conference win last week when they beat Westfield. They're still 2-4 on the year. And the Zionsville Eagles, they are 0-3 in conference play, 3-3 overall, and they have lost their last 2 games. Last week in HCC play, of course, the Orioles beat the Fishers Tigers 36-14. The Brownsburg Bulldogs, they picked up that HCC win on the road at Westfield, 59-30. Hamilton Southeastern beat Zionsville 35-21. And Noblesville had the non-conference game last week, and they just watched Chittard squeak by them 18-16. Action tonight, Hamilton Southeastern is hosting Noblesville. Brownsburg is hosting Zionsville. Of course, Westfield is here at Avon. And the non-conference game is a special game tonight. It is taking place at Victory Field. It is the first time the Indianapolis Indians home has hosted a football game, and it will be the Fishers Tigers hosting Cathedral tonight. That game underway at Victory Field. There will be one more game at Victory Field, and you'll hear that one on xrbradio.com. It'll be the final game night in Hendricks County of the season as the Brownsburg Bulldogs will play the Hamilton Southeastern Royals at Victory Field. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Next week, Avon will be at Zionsville. Brownsburg is at Noblesville. Hamilton Southeastern has the non-conference game of the week, and they are going to host a team from out of state. They're going to take on Columbus Bishop Hartley, a very strong team in central Ohio. Hartley will actually be making the trip to Hamilton Southeastern next week, and Westfield will host Fishers. That's a look at the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Take a look here at what's going on in Hendricks County right after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on xrbradio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcast. They are conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, and they are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at www.reynoldsbodyshop.com.
If you're a business owner with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy. Westside Plumbing would like to announce that Brian Payne is now a part of the team for all of your heating and air conditioning needs. Westside Plumbing now offers residential heating and air conditioning maintenance, repair, and replacement. To show their appreciation, Westside Plumbing is now offering a professional heating system tune-up and cleaning for the introductory price of just $69. Tell them you heard it from XRB. To schedule an appointment, just call 317-445-8399. That's 317-445-8399. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Westside Plumbing.
Welcome back to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium at Avon High School. Halftime as the Avon Orioles lead the Westfield Shamrocks 28-7. Let's take a look at action in Hendricks County tonight. The Brownsburg Bulldogs are back home at Roark Stadium. Bulldogs 2-4 on the year. They're hosting the Zionsville Eagles, ranked 11th in Class 5A. Even though the Eagles lost to Hamilton Southeastern last week, Zionsville 3-3 on the year. Of course, tonight's game here at Avon is Avon versus Westfield. The Plainfield Quakers are at home. They're coming off of a loss to Decatur Central last week, 35-14. They will host the 1-5 Franklin Grizzly Cubs tonight. Danville is on the road. Coach Rush Sumner has had a very difficult year with the Warriors this season. They're still looking for their first win, 0-6. They are on the road at Frankfort. The Hot Dogs are 3-3 after losing to Western Boone last week, 24-0. Danville lost to Southmont last week, 35-26. The Tri-West Bruins are on the road at those very same Southmont Mounties. The Mounties 2-4 on the year. Tri-West finally out of the top 20 in Class 3A after starting as the preseason number one team in Class 3A. Bruins now 3-3 on the year after defeating Lebanon last week, 37-14. And finally, the Cascade Cadets, they're back home tonight. They are 3-3 on the year. They lost to Owen Valley last week, 42-20. The Cadets with a very tough task on their hands tonight. They're taking on the 5-1 Cougars of North Putnam. North Putnam defeated Edgewood last week, 13-0. That's a look at games involving Hendricks County teams. Once again, our score at the half here at Avon is Avon leading the Shamrocks 28-7. Orioles should have the football to begin the second half. They put 21 points on the board in that first quarter. A first quarter that they had their wins on the back at their backs, and the Orioles elected to have Brandon Peters put the football up often in that first quarter. He threw for 2 touchdown passes, but it's a couple of special teams gaffes by the Shamrocks right now that have really been the difference in this game. First, the opening kickoff was fumbled by the Shamrocks, recovered by the Orioles. That left Brandon Peters in the offense a short field to work with. They capitalized on it to get their first touchdown of the game. The second special teams gaffe, and it was a botched punt. The Orioles ended up tackling the punter for a big loss on that play. They had another short field. Brian Fitzgerald took it in from 1 yard out for the other touchdown, resulting in special teams play. Oriole defense, they've also been involved in this. Brian Fitzgerald's 72-yard touchdown return on an interception means that 2 of these scores directly related to special teams, 1 for the defense, and the Oriole offense capitalizing each and every time. Again, Brandon Peters, 2 touchdown passes. Brian Fitzgerald, 2 touchdowns, 1 defensively, 1 rushing. And the Shamrocks finally got on the board late as Ryan Pepio hit Evan Manley from 32 yards out there in that second quarter, and that's the score at half, 28-7. Both teams are on the field for second half warm-ups. When we return, second half action here from Avon. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg. Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
Westside Plumbing would like to announce that Brian Payne is now a part of the team for all of your heating and air conditioning needs. Westside Plumbing now offers residential heating and air conditioning maintenance, repair, and replacement. To show their appreciation, Westside Plumbing is now offering a professional heating system tune-up and cleaning for the introductory price of just $69. Tell them you heard it from XRB. To schedule an appointment, just call 317-445-8399. That's 317-445-8399. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Westside Plumbing. Welcome back to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium as we get ready for second half action with the Orioles up 28-7. I said the Orioles would get the football to begin the second half. What they did was defer their choice to the second half, and with the 3-touchdown lead, Coach Bless has elected to kick to begin the second half. That means the Orioles will have the wind at their backs in the fourth quarter. So an instance where the Orioles kicked off to begin the game, and they're going to begin the second half by kicking off. So Coach Bless and that offense believes he'll have the wind in their backs in the fourth and final quarter. It has been a very fall-like night here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Temperatures right now in the low 50s, still a fairly stiff wind that is blowing from our left at the far north corner of the end zone to our right to the far near side corner of the end zone. Across the field, windy, probably about 15 to 20 miles per hour, steady, gusty at 30 at times. So Coach Bless and the Orioles want the football with the wind at their backs in the fourth quarter. So Sam Perino will kick off to begin the second quarter or second half, and they will actually I said they'll have the wind with the wind at their in their face. They kicked off with the wind at their back here at the third quarter. So a little confusion, mainly on my part right there, but it is the Shamrocks that have the ball to begin the second half. So Ryan Pepio, who comes out, he threw an interception and a touchdown in that first half, and it resulted in touchdowns both times. Brian Fitzgerald returned the interception for a touchdown. Evan Manley was on the receiving end of his touchdown pass there in the first half, and Pepio and the offense back out onto the field to begin the second half, trailing 28-7. They'll do so beginning at their own 20-yard line, and Pepio will keep it himself, try to bring it right up front, and he'll be ridden down by Zach Batustek and a few other Oriole defenders after a gain of about 2 yards on the play up to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 8. So it will be the Shamrocks with the opening drive of the second half. Some umbrellas popping open here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium as a few showers falling here. Nothing heavy tonight. As Pepio on 2nd and 8 looks, pump fake, fires, looking to the near side, overthrew his intended receiver. He was looking for Milo Beam on the near side. He was well covered, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Shamrocks. Good coverage there by the Orioles as all the receivers had a man on him, and Pepio wanted to pull the trigger earlier. His first option well covered. Came to Beam that was coming to the near side. He was well covered as well. Now it's going to bring a 3rd and long, 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Orioles were running a man-to-man defense. Pepio back to pass, throws right side, and passes far side is incomplete. He was looking on that far side, I believe, for Max McCool. It falls incomplete. Scott Campbell in coverage, and they'll bring up 4th down, and the Shamrocks will go 3 and out on their opening possession. We're going to have a different kick returner. Luke Shayatovich is back deep for the Avon Orioles. He'll take over for Matt Moore. So Luke Shayatovich in to return this kick. Shayatovich, a sophomore. He'll be back there with Bryant Fitzgerald. William Harrison, rugby style, almost had it blocked. As a matter of fact, a kick that is going to bounce, and it's going to be down inside Shamrock territory as Scott Campbell, with a good pressure on the kicker, almost got to it. And the Orioles will have excellent field position with the ball at the 48-yard line, and they'll have the wind at their backs. So disregard what I said earlier. The wind's actually at their backs in this third quarter, and Coach Bless hoping that the Oriole offense can put up the 28 points like they did in the first quarter here in the second quarter or third quarter and put this game away. Matt Moore is back in. He is near side with Andrew Griffin. Peters back to pass. Fires down the middle, and he skips a pass in the feet of Andrew Griffin. As Griffin, with a bit of a post route, overthrew, and it is incomplete. That'll bring up second down and 10. So the first play of the second half for the Orioles on offense. They take a look for a chunk of yardage down the middle of the field. This time they'll have Harrison Weber to the near side. Matt Moore is a tight end in the backfield. As Peters is back to pass, good protection. Now is flushed and looks and is forced to keep it as he is going to be sacked, brought down in the backfield. Is simply nowhere to get rid of the football, and he is brought down in the backfield by Brian Skelton. And it's going to be a loss all the way back to the 40-yard line, and that's going to bring up third down and about 22 yards to go. Good coverage downfield by the Shamrocks. Nowhere for Brandon to throw the ball, and instead of trying to make a play that could have resulted in grounded, just eventually kept it. Peters back to pass on 3rd and 22. Fires down the middle, has Andrew Griffin, overthrows Andrew, and almost intercepted as it goes through the hands of the defender as well, and that's going to bring up 4th down, and Sam Perino is going to be on to punt. So both teams 3 and out on their first possessions of the second half, and Perino will be on to kick. As back deep will be Kobe Hauser for the Westfield Shamrocks. Hauser will stand about the 22-yard line as Perino will have the wind at his back as Perino sets up at the 26. And the Orioles run a player out there late. Still plenty of time on the play clock. And now almost running another player out, and they'll bring him back. Perino gets it away. Low kick, but he does get a nice kick off, and it'll take an Oriole bounce, and it'll bounce into the end zone. Good pressure by the Shamrocks. Perino got it away. Hauser let it bounce, and it looked for a minute there like it might bounce right to the pylon, but it took a little bit of a left-hand turn, went into the end zone, and the Shamrocks will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line with 10:09 left to go third quarter. Avon out in front by 3 touchdowns, 28-7. I'm Brian Scott. This is Hendricks Regional Health Stadium is the location tonight. And the Orioles leading the Westfield Shamrocks 28-7 on game night in Hendricks County. Our final Avon broadcast in game night in Hendricks County. We will have Brownsburg final 2 games on xrbradio.com. So Pepio and the offense back out onto the field as the rain might be coming down a little bit harder. He'll give it to Brandon Karsnick. Karsnick finds a hole in the middle, gets to the 30, to the 35, slips through Andrew Griffin's hands, and finally is going to be brought down. Scott Campbell finally managed to ride him down. Help also from behind by Lance Myers, but Brandon Karsnick gets a fine run. Karsnick had a good run to begin the game for the first offensive series for the Shamrocks, and then the Orioles pretty much pinned him in. Now he rips off a good run the first time he gets the ball here in the second half and takes it all the way up to the Shamrock 48-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rocks. 4 wide outs, 2 to each side. They give it or keep it from Pepio, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to be hemmed in, as coming in was Brody Good to come in to finish him off, as what hole that Pepio thought he saw closed up quickly. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Shamrocks. Again, wind picking up once again. We had a brief little bit of a lull, but the wind's picked up. Now the rain's come down, and the Shamrocks will send 2 wideouts to the near side. Lucas Schultz and Drew Newstifler are to the near side of the formation on this 2nd down and 10. Pepio gives it to Karsnick. Karsnick right through the middle, and he knifes into the second line of defense before he's ridden down by Brody Good once again. It's a pickup of about 7 yards on the play into Oriole territory, all the way down to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 yards to go. And this time they get the Orioles to jump, and the Orioles will give the Shamrocks a free 1st down on the offsides call on the encroachment. On 3rd and about 3, the 5 yards will be a 1st down for the Shamrocks, as move a little deeper into Oriole territory down to the 39-yard line, and the Rocks with a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. 8:44 left to go, 3rd quarter. Avon out in front 28-7, but the Rocks moving the football here on this drive. Now at the Oriole 39-yard line as they check the sidelines. To the far side of the formation is Evan Manley. To the near side, Drew Newstifler. Pepio gives it to Karsnick. Karsnick, no, play action pass as Pepio threw to the right side. He was looking for Evan Manley. Good coverage and a penalty flag on the play. And this time the penalty flag goes against the Westfield Shamrocks. So they will back it up. Coach Jake Gilbert, he's inside the numbers talking about that penalty. And when they back the Shamrocks up, the ball will be spotted at the 45-yard line, where we will mark it off again from the spot, and that's going to actually move it even further back. And when all is said and done, this ball is going to be all the way back at the Shamrock 46-yard line from the penalty. And Coach Gilbert, he is talking to the official almost at the hash mark. And he's still getting his 2 cents worth. So the ball is now all the way back at the Shamrock 46-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 24. 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Blitz comes up the middle. Pepio on the screen gets it away up to the 50 to the 45. This is Karsnick to the 40, inside the 40 to the 35. Still on his feet inside the 20. And finally coming to bring him down was Zach Batustak from behind. Needed 24 yards for the 1st down, and they end up picking up about 34 yards all the way inside the 20 on the screen down to the 18-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. The Shamrocks guessed right as Avon bringing full blitz. Here is Pepio. He will gain maybe a yard or 2 before Matt Thompson wrestles him down. Avon showed blitz. They let him come through. They set up the screen, and they hit it big, do the Shamrocks, to take it all the way down to the 18. They'll get a yard on the run by Pepio. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 9. Clock still moving, 7:34, 3rd quarter. 28-7, Avon in the lead. The Shamrocks moving the football. As they check the side, Jonathan Swiden now in as a fullback, as Pepio. Swiden will set up to his left, but Karsnick with the run, and he will take it right up the middle and gain very little before he is brought down. Looks like Levi Hawk, the middle linebacker, came in to make the play for the Orioles. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 9 as the rain continues to fall here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Not a heavy rain, but could make some things rather interesting. Wind in their faces. on this 3rd and 9. 6:39 left. Play action pass. Pepio fires, looking out in the far side. Had a man wide open out there at about the 5-yard line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Lucas Schultz, over there on the far side. Schultz had a big cushion over in that far corner and just couldn't bring in the pass as it was a little underthrown, throwing into the wind. And that's going to bring a 4th down, and I'm sure Coach Jake Gilbert with that wind, even though he has a very, very good kicker in William Harrison. Harrison kicked a 50-yard field goal against Brownsburg last week. Wind in their face, a bit of a crosswind. He's going to leave the offense down on the field, down by 3 touchdowns. 4th and 9, Pepio checks over to the sideline. Play clock winding down to 5, 4, 3. Rocks are going to have to get this off. They do. Pepio back to pass. Fires over the middle. Pass is complete at the 10 and stopped at about the 7. This will be close. All depends on the spot. He got his man, Evan Manley. And they'll see where they mark this football. And it is enough for a 1st down, and it's 1st and goal Shamrocks at the Orioles 7-yard line. So they get the 1st down. They convert on 4th. Here is Karsnick looking for some room, and he will gain maybe a yard before he's swallowed up under a mountain of black at the 5-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5. Clock continues to move. 6:17 left to go in this 3rd quarter of play. So the Rocks go for it on 4th and 9. They get the 9 yards on the completed pass and now have 2nd and goal from the 5. Swiden will come in as Karsnick departs. Play clock down to 12, and the Rocks are still checking the sideline. And still looking Pepio, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that's going to force Coach Jake Gilbert to call a timeout with 5:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Orioles out in front, the Shamrocks threatening. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech.
Shamrocks with a problem getting the play called in from the sideline. They're forced to use the first of their 3 timeouts in this second half as they face 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line, trailing by 3 touchdowns to Avon. With 5:44 left to go 3rd quarter, Brian Scott here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Shamrocks will line up on this 2nd and goal from the 5 with 3 wideouts to the near side. And Pepio, the lone man in the backfield, no tailbacks. And Pepio will keep it on a quarterback draw, dive forward, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they flush out the wide receivers to each side, and Pepio keeps it himself, and he runs it in from 5 yards out. And the Shamrocks are an extra point away from making this a 2-touchdown advantage for the Orioles. Shamrocks, again, putting their wide receivers to each side, spreading out the Oriole defense, and then Pepio just barreled right forward, gained the 5 yards and the touchdown as William Harrison on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and it's blocked. And that could become a big, big play as looks like coming in was A.J. Alcock to block the extra point. So the Shamrocks get the touchdown. They're denied the 7th point, and with 5:38 left to go 3rd quarter, Avon leads 28-13. Back with a kick in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Westfield Shamrocks on a nice drive. They convert a big 3rd down and 24. And eventually Ryan Pepio runs it in from 5 yards out. The extra point blocked by A.J. Alcock. And our score with 5:38 left to go, third quarter, is Avon 28. The Shamrocks 13. The Shamrocks have scored the last 13 points in this football game after Avon raced out to a 28-0 first quarter lead. And the Orioles, unable to do anything on their first possession here in the second half, are about to get the football right back. Again, the wind picking up, the rain falling down in a fall night here in central Indiana, as temperatures dropping into the low 50s with a stiff wind and rain, a little cold, wet, nasty night here at Avon High School, as William Harrison is going to have to get somebody to hold the football for him, as the wind picking up once again. It's been a steady 25-mile-per-hour wind most of the night, maybe picked up a little bit, as Harrison, a short kick, and it'll be taken by play. It was picked up by Zach Batustek, but as soon as his helmet came off, the play was dead. So Batustek came away with the football, but his helmet popped off, and play ends immediately at that point. So the ball will belong to Avon. They'll spot it at around the Avon 37-yard line with 5:33 left to go, third quarter. Avon up in front 28-13, and Brandon Peters in the offense with the wind at their backs, the rain coming down, and it looks like Darian Love in the backfield to be the tailback on this drive. Drew Pankey-Wallace into the game. He works slot to the near side with Andrew Griffin, the wide out to the near side. Peters is back to pass on 1st and 10. He takes a shot down the field looking for Harrison Weber. Pass incomplete. Weber and Peters not able to hook up on that 1st and 10. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Orioles, as the Orioles look to fire deep on the first play of this drive. And on 2nd and 10, Griffin and Pankey-Wallace will come to the near side along with Harrison Weber once again, with Darian Love, the lone tailback, to the left of Brandon Peters on 2nd down and 10. Here's Darian Love. He looks for some room up the middle. He's going to gain a couple of yards, but that is all before he is brought down, tackled on the play by the Shamrocks leading tackler Jackson Garrett, the Mike linebacker, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8 for the Orioles. We're approaching the 5-minute mark left to go in quarter number 3. The Orioles not able to move the balls too much here in this second half, and they'll need a 3rd down conversion here if they want to avoid their second 3 and out. 4 wide out, stacked to the near side. 2 to the near side. Here's Peters, flushed out, looks, fires, trying to get it out. Penalty flag comes out. Peters was trying to get it to Drew Pankey-Wallace, but this is likely another holding penalty. That has been the story of the night right now for Avon, is a lot of penalties. And this one might be coming back as well. And it is a holding penalty, and that will likely be declined, as it will bring up 4th down and Sam Perino on to punt. So the holding penalty will be declined by the Shamrocks. The Orioles go 3 and out, and Kobe Hauser will drop back deep for the Shamrocks as Sam Perino is on to punt this ball away yet again. Orioles take a shot on 1st down to take the ball downfield, but can't get any further after a Darian Love 2-yard run, and Perino will kick this ball from about the 24. High snap, he brings it down, gets it away, angles it near side. Hauser will take it and back it at the 20. Hauser to the near side, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, so a return of about 12 yards on the play. And the Shamrocks, who just marched down the field, aided by a long 3rd down conversion and a 5-yard Ryan Pepio touchdown run, have the ball yet again. They trailed by 4 touchdowns after the first quarter, but they've scored the last 13 points and have the football yet again with 4:35 left to go in the third quarter, trailing 28-13, and Pepio in the offense ready to take the field once again from their own 32-yard line. First and 10 for the white-clad with green pants Shamrocks. Pepio with Swiden and Karsnick. And running right up the middle is Brendan Karsnick, and he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line for a pickup of about 8 yards on the play. Making the tackle was, I believe, Lance Meyer from his cornerback position. It'll bring up 2nd and 2 as the Shamrocks getting their running game going here in this second half. Swiden to the left of Pepio in the pistol with Karsnick behind his quarterback. 2 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near side, a 3 down front for the Orioles. Pepio back to pass, fires, look downfield. He's got a man, but good coverage. Lance Meyer stride for stride with Evan Manley, and the pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Shamrocks. So looking for Manley, he was running a streak down the near side. Lance Meyer keeping up with him stride for stride, and the pass goes incomplete. And on 3rd and 2, out of the pistol will be Pepio with Swiden to his right and Karsnick the tailback. Pepio will give it to Karsnick, finds a hole in the right side, and he is into Oriole territory and finally knocked down at the 45-yard line. Coming to make the play was Matt Thompson, but not before Karsnick has the first down. They'll say his knee touched down at the Oriole 46-yard line, but it will be 1st and 10 Shamrocks in Oriole territory. Clock moves, 3:42 left to go, 3rd quarter. 28-13, the Orioles out in front. Shamrocks once again moving the football. And we're going to have a penalty flag, and offsides is going to be called against Avon as A.J. Elcock looks like got that helmet over there, and he's going to be called for offsides, and that'll give the Shamrocks a free 5 yards and 1st and 5 from the Oriole 41-yard line. 3 wide outs for Westfield, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. Pepio will give it to play action pass, and he had a man Swiden wide open down the seam, but they couldn't hook up. As Jonathan Swiden, who was in as a fullback to the left of Ryan Pepio, just simply took off down the seam, and he was wide open on a nice play action pass by Ryan Pepio, but they can't connect on the pass, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Westfield. Going to the far side of the field is Evan Manley. To the near side, that's Drew Newstifter. Swiden to the left of Pepio. The give is to Brandon Karsnick. Karsnick looks for some room, will not find it. He's going to lose a yard or 2 on the play, as his blockers couldn't open up anything, and Matt Thompson cleaned it up from behind to make the tackle for a loss of a couple. And what was originally 1st and 5 is now 3rd down and 7 back at the Oriole 42-yard line. Shamrocks 3 wideouts, 2 to the far side. Pepio will look over to the sideline with plenty of time on the play clock. Game clock down to 2:50 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Swiden to the left of Pepio. Karsnick the tailback. Play action. They flip it over, and it's the same play that they saw Swiden open on the seam route this time. This time some pressure, and Pepio trying to lay that ball over the defender, and they can't hook up, and that'll bring up 4th down and 7. And this time, I believe they will send William Harrison out to kick this football away, or will they not? No, they're going to leave the offense out on the field. So 4th down and 7, and the offense stays. It originally looked like Coach Jay Gilbert was going to send the punt team on. Instead, he leaves his offense, though. Trips to the right, 1 wide receiver to the near side. Pepio back to pass. Looks, fires down the field. Pass is complete as he hits Will McCool in stride, and the Shamrocks convert on 4th down and take it down to the 28-yard line. Scott Campbell with the tackle, but not before the Shamrocks pick up the 1st down on 4th and 7, and they have the ball inside the 30. They'll keep the same formation. This time Pepio keeps it himself. He will gain a few yards over the left side down to about the Oriole 26-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 2 on the play. Call it 2nd and 8 for the Shamrocks. Kept the same trips right formation that they just made on the big 4th down conversion. This time Pepio kept it himself, looked for some room over his left side with Jonathan Mendoza and Jordan Long on the left side of that offensive line for the Shamrocks. This time 3 wideouts split out to the far side. Play action pass. Pepio back, looks, fires down the middle, has a man open but way overthrown. Good coverage by Ian Pendleton. He was looking for Milo Beam in the end zone, overthrew the ball into a stiff win, I might add. A good throw by Pepio as he actually overthrew his receiver, but it will bring up 3rd and long for the Shamrocks. One-on-one coverage with Ian Pendleton back running with Milo Beam. And the incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 8. Ball remains at the Oriole 26-yard line. 1:47 left to go, third quarter. Avon up 28-13, but the Shamrocks have scored the last 13 points. Pepio will have 4 wideouts, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side, with Brandon Karsnick, the lone tailback, as Pepio works out of the pistol. Play clock down to 5, 4, and Pepio will get it off. Quick, fires over the middle, nice slant pass, and it's complete. Pass is complete to McCool, and McCool, if it's where he went down, he will be shy of the first down marker. It'll be 4th down and about a yard to go as they'll spot McCool down at about the 19-yard line. Needs to get to the 18 for a first down. So Karsnick will be the tailback as Pepio works out of the pistol. 2 wideouts to the near side. Now Pepio gets under center, and he's trying to draw the Orioles off sides. Still plenty of time on the play clock, 15 seconds. Pepio will still stay under center as he's trying to get him to jump. As Coach Gilbert races down, Pepio looks over. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Pepio will snap the ball. Here's a give to Karsnick. Karsnick finds a hole, and he will dive forward to get the first down as he gets down to about the 16-yard line. Shamrocks trying to draw the Orioles off sides. That didn't work, but they do get the first down as Karsnick finds some room on the left side on the dive. And it's 1st and 10 Shamrocks at the Orioles 16-yard line. Under 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter with the clock winding down. Shamrocks with the wind at their face. And give to Karsnick on the counter. He will find a room, and he will take it inside the 5, into the 3, keeps the legs going. He will not make it into the end zone. He will be stopped at the 2-yard line. As Karsnick with a strong run, he was making a bid for the end zone. Finally, some help from the Orioles defense to turn him away, but not before he has the Shamrocks have it 1st and goal from the Avon 2-yard line. Clock will wind. They will have to run a play before the end of the third quarter. Swiden back in. He will be to the right of Pepio out of the pistol. Karsnick, the tailback. The give is to Karsnick. Karsnick for some room around the right side, and no signal yet. Orioles think that their ball is loose. No signal from the officials. Shamrocks say touchdown. Orioles say fumble. And the officials are the only ones that matter, and they say Oriole football. Karsnick loses the ball at the goal line, and Avon comes away with it. Did not see who came away with it, though Zach Batustek, and might even have been Scott Campbell in there as well. But the Orioles turn the Shamrocks away at the goal line as they force a fumble. And now we've got officials. They confirm it. It is first down Avon, and they say it's a touchback. It was recovered in the end zone. Jake Gilbert is all the way at the hash marks, which is not the first time we've seen him there tonight. And they say the ball was recovered, fumbled outside of the end zone. The Orioles recovered in the end zone for a touchback, so they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 6.1 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And Coach Jay Gilbert not happy at all as Peters and the offense back out onto the field. 1st and 10 from the 20. They'll give the handoff. Here's Darian Love. He finds some room to the left side. He'll gain about 3 yards, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Shamrocks knocking on the door, fumble the football. The Orioles recover and will switch ends to begin the fourth quarter with the Avon Orioles still out in front, 28-13. Back with fourth quarter action right after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRB Radio and Audio Sports Online.
Avon has a rich wrestling tradition, and now Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of it. Opening last November, Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at RedCobraWrestlingAcademy.com.
Ready to start the fourth quarter at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium. Brian Scott with you tonight as the Avon Orioles dodge a bullet. The Shamrocks driving. They give the ball to Brandon Karsnick. According to the officials, Karsnick fumbled the ball just outside the goal line. The Orioles recovered it in the end zone, resulting in a touchback. And the Shamrocks are denied. And now Avon has the ball 2nd and 7 from their own 23-yard line as we begin the fourth quarter. Brandon Peters working with 3 wideouts. Darian Love, the tailback. He will get the football, look for some room at the left side. He will have enough to get a first down as Love gets past the 30 to the 31-yard line. A pickup of about a little over 8 yards and a first down for the Avon Orioles. Avon jumped out to a 28-0 lead to begin this football game, and it looked at the time like it was going to be a whitewashing by Avon. But since then, Westfield has put 13 points on the board. They were driving for another touchdown before the fumble, and now Avon has the wind in their face, but up 28-13. Peters has Love to his left. 3 wideouts, 2 to the near side boundary. The give is to Darian. He looks for some room on the right side and will not find any, as he is going to be brought down by the defensive end Brian Skelton. It's going to be a gain of maybe a couple of yards on the play. Call it 2nd down and 8 for the Avon. A cold, rainy night here in central Indiana. It's been windy all night, but since a little after halftime, the rain has begun to fall. Not a heavy rain, but a rain nonetheless, and a very cool night with temperatures already down into the low 50s. 3 wideouts, 2 to the top of the formation. Love remains the tailback. And this ball, bad snap. Brandon's going to have to go all the way back and eat it back at the 10. A huge play, as it's going to be a big loss. Brandon simply had to cover it up at the 10-yard line. And now the Orioles have 3rd down and about 30. They'll spot the ball outside the 10. They'll put it at the 11-yard line, so 3rd and 29. So a bad snap in a shotgun formation puts the Orioles in a bit of trouble with 4 wideouts, 2 to each side, and Peters looking to see what he can do with 3rd and 29 and a wind in his face. Brandon back to pass, plenty of time, now flushes, and he's going to be brought down as nobody could get open. They get it with just the front line defense for the Westfield Shamrocks. It won't be a sack, as they'll credit Brandon with about a 1-yard gain, but it works just as well, as nobody could get open downfield. And the Shamrocks able to bring Peters down with just their front line, and it will bring up 4th down. And that's going to have Sam Perino kicking with the wind in his face and his feet in the end zone. High snap, gets it away. The wind will kick this one down, and it's going to take a Shamrock bounce, and the Westfield Shamrocks, who were denied on a fumble at the goal line, will get the ball back, 1st and 10 at the Oriole 24-yard line. So the bad snap causes the huge loss, where Brandon just only choice he had was to eat the ball at the 10. And the Orioles can't get anything done. And the punt into the wind. That's going to make it even more troublesome for Avon, as Westfield will have great field position. 1st and 10 at the Oriole 24-yard line. Avon still leads by 15, 28-13, with 9:21 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Shamrocks will begin this drive with 3 wideouts. They'll give it to Karsnick. Karsnick, brought down for a loss, is coming in and making the play was A.J. Elcock as he met Karsnick in the backfield for a loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12. Shamrocks have been riding Karsnick hard here in this second half as he has been getting some good chunks of yardage. This time, A.J. Elcock from his defensive end position able to bring Karsnick down for a loss of a 2. And the Shamrocks with Pepio out of the pistol and Karsnick behind him. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Pepio, play action pass. He'll fire downfield. Has a man open. That's Manley. And the pass is caught for a touchdown. 26 yards. Ryan Pepio to Evan Manley for the second time tonight. And it is now a 28-19 game. Manley with a nice route got behind the defender as he was working, I believe, on Scott Campbell. And they will just go for the 1 here to make it an 8-point Oriole lead as the kick is up. And the kick is good. The Westfield Shamrocks, after falling behind 28-0 after a quarter, 8:30 remains in this football game, and it's a 1-score difference between the Orioles and the Shamrocks. Avon leads 28-20. Back with the kickoff in a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRB Radio and Audio Sports Online.
If you're a business owner with or without employees, you're probably wondering about your payroll. Is it being prepared correctly? Are the right amount of taxes being taken out? What about child support, workman's comp, auditing, unemployment, Social Security, local taxes, payroll deductions? It can be a bit overwhelming, but we've got the answer for you. The Payroll Department Incorporated. We'll take care of all those payroll headaches and manage any unique deductions that apply to your company. We offer several ways to submit your payroll and provide you with customized timesheets for reporting. The Payroll Department Incorporated, located at 701 North Green Street in Brownsburg.
Westfield Shamrocks get a 26-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Pepio to Evan Manley. William Harrison's point after is good. And with 8:30 left to go in the fourth quarter, Avon still holds an 8-point lead over Westfield, 28-20, but Westfield has scored the last 20 points. Harrison's kick is deep, and it will not be returned as it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Orioles, a bad snap cost them on their last possession, as it was a loss of 20 yards with Brandon Peters having to cover up back on the 10-yard line and unable to do anything with the football on 3rd and 24. They were forced to punt, a punt into a very stiff wind. The Shamrocks worked with a short field, and they put it in the end zone, and now the Orioles, who have not done anything since the first quarter, have the winds in their face and the lead only by 8. This time they'll keep Matt Moore in. It's Brian Fitzgerald's a tailback. Brandon rolls out, looks downfield, fires, has a man open. Andrew Griffin at the 35-yard line. And it is a completion of 15 yards from Peters to Griffin, and the Orioles strike on the first play for 15 yards, and they will have it 1st and 10 on the nice little play-action bootleg. Brandon rolls to his right, finds Griffin, and the Orioles pick up 15 yards on first down. Clock moving, 8:19 left to go in the football game. Avon up by 8. Remember, A.J. Elcock blocked a Westfield point after. We'll see if that looms large in this game later on. On 1st and 10, Brandon back to pass, looks, steps into it, fires, has Andrew Griffin. He was working against the defender, which over here on the near side, he was one-on-one. Pass went through Griffin's hands, and it falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Working on the near side to against Chris Zolto, the corner for the Shamrocks. 2nd and 10. Avon at their own 35-yard line. Clock stopped with 7:57 left to go in the 4th quarter. They'll leave Matt Moore in the backfield to help block as Peters gives the ball off, and nothing going there as it is stacked up, and Brian Fitzgerald had nowhere to go as the Shamrock defensive front very good at the point of attack. Matter of fact, looks like Bryant might have lost a yard on the play as they'll spot the ball back at the 34-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down and long for Avon. See what the Orioles can draw up here on 3rd down and 11. They will send Jordan Peterson to the far side, Harrison Weber and Andrew Griffin to the near side. The lone tailback is Brian Fitzgerald. He'll bring Fitzgerald to his left as Peters works out of the gun. Shamrocks will bring a blitz from the right side. Peters looks, fires over the middle. Andrew Griffin incomplete as he was covered by Kobe Hauser on that little square in the middle, and the ball drops incomplete. It will bring up 4th down, and Sam Perino on to punt. And again, punting into a very stiff wind. You could tell that it really knocked down that ball on the last punt that led to great field position by the Shamrocks. Hauser is going back as a single safety back at his own 35-yard line. Perino will set up with his heels on the 21. Avon up by 8, but punting the ball away. High snap, but Perino gets it down. A low kick. It's going to get knocked down, but Hauser will field it at the 36. He's going to look for some room. He's going to find Zach Batustak and find that there's really no more room there. Might gain 2 yards on the return up to the Shamrock 38-yard line, and Westfield down by a score. They trail by 8. They have the football. And is there a penalty flag back at the 42-yard line? There is a penalty flag back at the 42-yard line. And this ball will still belong to Westfield, but they will mark it back even further. So holding against Westfield, and when all is said and done, this ball will be spotted at the Shamrock 26-yard line, where Westfield has it 1st and 10, 6:54 left to go, 4th quarter. They trail by 8. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Avon with all 3 of theirs on a cold, windy night here in Avon. Orioles trying to hold on to what was at one point a 28-point lead. It's now down to 8. Shamrocks with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side. Pepio, play action pass, fires, and it's blocked at the line of scrimmage, and getting a hand up was big old Levi Hawk to knock it down at the line of scrimmage as Pepio had eyes on Evan Manley once again, but good play by Hawk will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Shamrocks. They'll bring Schultz to the near side. He will join Manley as the 2 wideouts to the near side. 2 to the far side of the formation as well as Pepio in the pistol with Karsnick behind him. So Karsnick will check with the Shamrock sideline. Plenty of time left on the play clock as it's just now hitting 10 seconds. Pepio back to pass. He will throw, and it is caught over on that far sideline. Ian Pendleton will knock the receiver out of bounds, but not before it's a 1st down. It is, once again, Max McCool with the catch on the far side. It's a pickup of about 11 yards and a 1st down for Westfield. Make it 12 yards as they'll spot the ball at about the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Westfield, and they will bring in Jonathan Swiden to go to the right of Pepio. The give is to Karsnick. Karsnick, he has a hole. He's into the 2nd tier of the Oriole defense, and he is into Oriole territory. And it looks like they're going to spot the ball right at the midfield stripe, right at the 50-yard line. And Westfield quickly up to the line of scrimmage, trying to work in tempo. Pepio, this is again Karsnick, Brandon Karsnick looking for some room. He's finding some room on the left side, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds on that far side after a pickup of about 3 yards on the play, maybe 4. And it'll be second down and call it 6 yards to go. Maybe, I'll call it 7 as they'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So 2nd and 7 for the Shamrocks. Clock continues to move. 6:09 left to go, fourth quarter. Shamrocks trail by 8 but have the football. Swiden and Brandon Karsnick, the two tailbacks, as Pepio works out of the pistol. Drops back, fires left side, pass incomplete. He was looking over at the far sideline, I believe, to Max McCool, but Bryant Fitzgerald in coverage. Had good coverage on that far sideline, and it will bring up 3rd down and 7. Clock stops with 5:53 left to go in the fourth quarter. So a big play for the Oriole defense here, seeing if they can force a 4th down. Coming to the near side is Drew Newstifter. He will work with Milo Beam. Back to passes Pepio. Looks in the flat, fires high, and the pass is complete to Max McCool. And McCool is going to have just enough for the first down. Needed 6, got 7. And they'll spot the ball at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Westfield Shamrocks on a big 3rd down conversion. Swiden and Karsnick stay in the backfield with Pepio out of the pistol. 1st and 10 Shamrocks. Ball at the Oriole 37. Here's Karsnick to give. He goes right up the middle, and he will pick up a few yards inside the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be second down and make it almost 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Shamrocks. Clock continues to move with 5:14 left to go in this fourth quarter. They will flood 3 wide receivers to the far side and bring Evan Manley as the lone wide receiver to the near side. Karsnick now the only tailback. Pepio, quick slant, fires, and it's picked off. Off of the receivers, it's intercepted as Avon comes away with the turnover. Coming away with the football was Brody Good. Brody Good with the interception. I think they were trying to get Evan Manley on a slant. Manley tipped it. Brody Good was there to bring it in, and the Orioles defense comes up with their 2nd interception of the evening. And it is 1st and 10 Avon with 4:49 left to go in this football game, still up by 8. So the Oriole offense on the field to see if they can do something. They have been pretty well shut down here in this second half. And they'll start this drive 1st and 10 from their own 30 with 4 wideouts, 3 to the far side. Peters back to pass on 1st and 10. He'll swing it out. He has Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to the 35, to the 40, and still running, and he rumbles down to the 43-yard line as Brian Fitzgerald will get a first down on a 13-yard gain, and the Orioles pick up a first down on their first play. Now, they did that on the last drive, and a bad snap forced Brandon Peters to retreat 20 yards to cover up the ball, and the Orioles never could recover. But they'll pick up 13 on first play from scrimmage and bring up 1st and 10 as Peterson, Weber, and Moore to the far side. Andrew Griffin with single coverage near side. Fitzgerald the lone tailback. Rock show blitz, and they'll bring it. Fitzgerald will get into the line, and it's to the 50, 45, and Bryant's on the run. To the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. A 57-yard touchdown run. Brian Fitzgerald and the Orioles lead 34-20. For Fitzgerald, his 3rd touchdown of the night, his 2nd rushing touchdown. And on for the point after is Sam Perino. So Fitzgerald once again hits the home run ball. This one from 57. Perino's kick is up, and it sneaks through. And with 4 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in this football game, the Oriole lead is back up to 15, 35-20. Back with a kickoff after this. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online. Come visit Blue River Pharmacy, the local independent pharmacy in Hendricks County. When you choose Blue River Pharmacy as your partner in health and wellness, you will enjoy all of the traditional services of a chain pharmacy, plus so much more. Blue River Pharmacy takes time to truly care for and listen to learn our patients' needs. We accept most insurance plans and offer competitive pricing. Whether you need a prescription filled quickly, medical equipment, unique over-the-counter items, or medication management options, Blue River Pharmacy is your local friendly choice. And we offer free delivery. Stop by our Brownsburg location at 680 East 56th Street in the shops at Brownsburg today and choose Blue River Pharmacy. Brian Fitzgerald has 2 touchdowns that cover over 127 yards in this game, a 72-yard interception return from a touchdown, and now a 57-yard run from scrimmage, and the Orioles lead is back to 15 with 4:07 remaining in this game. Perino's kick is going to be caught by the wind. It's going to be short, and it's going to be muffed at the 32, but it looks like the Shamrocks came away with it, and it will be 1st and 10. Westfield, who thought that they were doing very well. They were driving for what they hoped to be a possible game-tying score, but an interception by Brody Good and a 57-yard touchdown run from Brian Fitzgerald has the Orioles back up by 2 scores with only 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in this contest as Ryan Pepio and the offense back out onto the field. The Shamrocks had scored 20 unanswered before that touchdown run. Pepio fires left side, pass is complete. Griffin will push the receiver Schultz out of bounds on the far sideline after a pickup of about 5 yards on the play. So Brian Fitzgerald with once again just an electrifying performance today. He's got an interception return from a touchdown and 2 runs from scrimmage. Pepio back to pass, fires downfield. He's looking for McCool and well overthrown, and a pair of Orioles in coverage. Davion Porter in at corner right now as he was giving Brian Fitzgerald a bit of a spell after that long touchdown run, and Fitz now back out on defense. 3rd and 5 for the Shamrocks. Clock is stopped with 3:57 remaining in the fourth quarter. 35-20 is our score. 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Pepio back to pass. Quick fires, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Manley once again. A little high and off of the hands of Evan Manley, and that's going to bring up 4th and 5, and a big, big play here for the Oriole defense. As Pepio is now missed on his last, I believe, 4 or 5 passes. One of those was intercepted by Brody Good. And I take it back. He had the one pass to Schultz that Griffin pushed him out. That's how they got the 5 yards on this drive. Right now, here's Pepio back on 4th down. Fires out, has a man, and it's complete. Fitzgerald will run Milo Beam out of bounds, and this is actually going to be a very interesting spot. And they will move the chains. So just enough for the first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 44. Clock now winds, 3:46 and counting here in the fourth. There's a quarterback keeper by Pepio as he will drive forward for about 4 yards up to the 48-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 6 as the clock will continue to wind here in the fourth quarter. Shamrocks have 2 timeouts remaining. Avon with a full complement. Cold, rainy night, and the Orioles like to get off this field, warm up, and come away with their 4th win in a row. Play action pass, Pepio. He finds Karsnick with a wheel route out of the backfield, and Karsnick will have a nice run into Oriole territory down to about the 36, 37-yard line. Nice pickup on the play, and it'll be 1st and 10 Shamrocks. Well, the Shamrocks need 2 scores. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion at some point. Pepio will look to the sideline. Karsnick is in the backfield with him. Lucas Schultz and Evan Manley to the near side. 2 wideouts to the far side with Karsnick to the left of Pepio. Play action. Pepio fires over the middle. Pass is incomplete. He was looking for Lucas Schultz. Schultz couldn't hang on to the football, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Clock stops. 3:03 left to go, 4th quarter. Avon up 35-20. A second half that has been dominated by the Shamrocks, but an interception and a 57-yard Brian Fitzgerald touchdown run has quickly shifted the mood of this game back in favor of the Orioles. Orioles have never trailed. And on 2nd and 10, Pepio back to pass, fires, has Manley. Manley met and knocked out of bounds, and no pass is incomplete. Scott Campbell with another good play. We saw Scott with a big hit last week in Fishers, and he comes up with a big play here, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Shamrocks. Clock stopped, 2:56 left to go, 4th quarter. It will be Manley and Schultz on the far side, Beam and McCool to the near side. Brandon Karsnick, the lone tailback, behind Pepio working out of the pistol. 3rd and 10, Pepio back to pass. Pressure comes, he steps up, he fires, lost it up, incomplete. He was looking for Schultz. Pressure came and left the ball a little high. Schultz couldn't bring it down. It'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Shamrocks. So what will likely be the game for the Shamrocks right here, they need 2 scores. And if they give the ball back to the Orioles, Avon can run a lot of time off before having to give the ball back. Pepio on 4th and 10. Fires, right side, pass is complete. They will have the 1st down. Max McCool comes away with the reception. Needed 10, picked up about 13 yards on the play inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for Westfield as they are making some advances down the field, but they're also eating up valuable time. 2:45 remains. Pepio back to pass. Fires right side. Pass is complete to McCool once again. Campbell pushes him out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of about 11 yards, I believe. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks from the 11. A 1st down for the Shamrocks. Clock stop with 2:40 remaining in the game. Pepio, delay, gives it to Karsnick, finds some room on the right side, and Karsnick will take it inside the 5. Penalty flag comes in late behind the play, and they will they'll spot the ball at the 4. That's where Matt Thompson brought Karsnick down, but the penalty flag came in behind, and we'll see. It is a 5-yard face mask penalty against Westfield. So penalty goes against the Shamrocks of the 5-yard variety. Not listed as a personal foul. And they are explaining to Matt Thompson the options. And they will push the Shamrocks back. A 5-yard face mask penalty. It will still be 1st down. And they'll spot the ball at the 12-yard line. And that's where the Shamrocks will set up. They still trail by 15. And they'll wind the clock now as it moves with 2:32 left. Pepio out of the pistol. Looks over to the sideline now with the clock winding down. They need 2 scores. Clock still winding down. 7 on the play clock. And Pepio's going to waste a lot of time here. He'll drop back, fire. He's looking for Schultz, and it's intercepted. That was telegraphed. Lance Meyer with the interception, and he will return it back to the 25. Pepio telegraphed that one badly. He was looking for Lucas Schultz, and Lance Meyer just read Pepio the entire way, and all he had to do was sit back and wait on that football. It is Ryan Pepio's 3rd interception of the contest, and that might all but do it for the Shamrocks as the Orioles on the turnover will have the ball 1st and 10 just beyond the 20-yard line, up by 15. You could see Pepio was locked into his receiver who was trying to run in toward the corner of the end zone, but floated that ball out there, and Meyer with an easy interception. And Brandon Peters in the offense is back out onto the field. Here is the give. I believe Darian Love, the ball carrier, and Darian will pick up about 4 yards on the play to the 25-yard line, and that's where Coach Jay Gilbert will use the first of his final 2 timeouts. With 1:59 left to go in the fourth quarter, Avon leads the Shamrocks by 15. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Panuni's Pizza and Wings in Brownsburg has something for everybody, and you don't even have to leave home. Call 286-3500 for free delivery to Pittsboro, Claremont, North Avon, and all of Brownsburg. Specialty pizzas, calzones, breadsticks, and cheese bread, all made in-house with Panuni's own hand-tossed dough. Not to mention Panuni's jumbo wings. Just tell them you heard about it from XRB and get 10% off of your order. Check out their Facebook page for specials. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday until 11 p.m. Locally owned Panuni's Pizza and Wings on 1447 East Main Street in Brownsburg.
Lance Meyer's interception of Ryan Pepio may have sealed this game for the Avon Orioles. They lead by 15. They have the football with 1:59 left to go in the football game, up by 15, 35-20. Brian Scott back with you at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium as the Orioles jumped out to a quick 28-point lead. They watched the Shamrocks run off 20 unanswered before Brian Fitzgerald, as the Shamrocks fumbled a chance away at the goal line that is big in this game. And the Avon Orioles lead 35-20. Brian Fitzgerald, again, key factor in this game, as he has 2 touchdowns, 1 via interception return of 72 yards, 1 a 57-yard run from scrimmage. 3 interceptions of Shamrock quarterback Ryan Pepio also loom large in this game. 2nd and 6. Peters with Love in the backfield. It is Darian with the run. He will run it up the middle, still running, and he's going to get almost to the 30-yard line. He'll be maybe a half yard shy, but a good hard run by Darian Love. It's going to bring up 3rd down. For now, Coach Gilbert will leave that final timeout in his back pocket, as the clock will continue to run with 1:45 and counting, and they just now start the 25-second play clock. So 1:28 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Avon led 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. They saw their lead cut to 8. And then Brian Fitzgerald's home run put the lead back up to 15. And the Orioles are going to let this go all the way down to 1 second and call timeout, as bleed as much of the clock as possible. And Coach Bless uses the first of his 3 timeouts. And the Orioles will see what they want to do on 3rd down and a little over a yard when we come back. 1:09 left to go in this football game. Avon up by 15. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and ASO.
Changes Home Care is a proud sponsor of Avon High School football broadcast. Changes Home Care assists the elderly in staying independent in the comfort of their own home as long as possible. They assist individuals with bathing, dressing, transportation, medication reminders, light housekeeping, companionship, and much more. Their office is on Shiloh Professional Drive in Avon. Changes Home Care serves Hendricks and Marion County, as well as all of the surrounding counties. Their services are available 24/7, 365 days a year. For a consultation appointment, call area code 317-271-3800. That's area code 317-271-3800. Changes Home Care in Avon.
3rd and 2, and Darian Love will run the football, and he will not get the first down, as he is going to be stopped shy of the 30-yard line. And that, with 4th and short, is going to cause head coach Jake Gilbert to call his 3rd and final timeout as 4th and 1 stares down the Orioles, and they will likely send Sam Perino on to kick this ball away. Up by 15 with 63 seconds remaining in this football game, and up by 15 points. So on a cold, rainy night here in central Indiana at Avon, Orioles will look to put this one away. They thought they had it put away maybe very early in this game. Wind played a factor. There is no doubt about that, as the Orioles had the football in the second quarter working against the wind. They chose to run the ball almost exclusively. And Westfield got a touchdown late in the second quarter. Scored 2 more times here in the second half and looked to be well on their way to maybe even tying this game up. But Avon's going to leave the offense on the field, so they're going to, rather than chance a return, they will go for it on 4th and 1 or try to draw Westfield off sides. Brandon, long count. And he will hike the ball. He'll give it to Fitzgerald, and Bryant will have the first down. So the nail in the coffin right there is Fitzgerald takes the snap, goes over the left side, picks up about 4 yards. And the Orioles can now sit on the football and run this clock out and be very happy to head to the locker room on a cold, wet, windy, rainy Friday night with a 15-point win against Westfield. That'll be the Orioles' 4th victory in a row, as they are going to line up for just a couple of knee downs, and they will send the Shamrocks to their 3rd straight defeat. And a game that I'm sure Coach Bless, he'll have a few things that he will want to work on this week. Defense came away with 3 big turnovers, and they will not have to run another play, so that's going to be the football game. As the clock winds down to zeros here at the Hendricks Regional Health Stadium, our final score will be the Avon Orioles 35, the Westfield Shamrocks 20. We'll come back with final thoughts in just a moment. This is Game Night in Hendricks County on XRBRadio.com and Audio Sports Online.
Ivy Tech Community College offers a high-quality, high-value college education. Ivy Tech is the place to start a career or further your education. Even if you're planning to pursue a bachelor's degree, Ivy Tech's quality education is recognized statewide, so our credits transfer. Ivy Tech has a campus in Crawfordsville near I-74 at US 231. Complete your free application at ivytech.edu/apply now or call 888-IVY-LINE. Get started now on a brighter future at Ivy Tech.
Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center.
Avon Orioles come away with a 35-20 victory over the Westfield Shamrocks on a cold, windy, rainy night in central Indiana at Avon High School. Welcome back to the postgame show. I'm Brian Scott. Avon jumped out to a 28-0 lead in the first quarter, and as this game went through the first quarter, many here thought that the Avon Orioles would probably win this game running away, but the wind would play some ill tricks to the Orioles tonight, and as the Orioles turned around to go into the wind on the second quarter, they found the offense much more difficult to come by. In fact, the Orioles wouldn't score again until the fourth quarter. In the meantime, they watched the Shamrocks run 20 unanswered points onto the scoreboard, and were in contention to possibly tie this game up on a couple of occasions. The Shamrocks had 5 turnovers in this game, 2 big fumbles, one to begin the game on the opening kickoff that led to an Avon touchdown, One, as the Shamrocks were going into the end zone for a score, Brandon Karsnick coughs up the football just outside the goal line. The Orioles recovering the end zone. That snuffed out a Shamrock drive. And then as the Shamrocks were driving for the potential possible game-tying score down by 8, they get an interception by the Orioles' Brody Good to end that drive. The Orioles would later score from on a 57-yard touchdown run from Brian Fitzgerald, and that's our final score. A 15-point victory for the Orioles, 35-20. The win for the Avon Orioles pushes them to 5-2 on the year. They are now 3-1 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. The loss for Westfield, their third in a row, drops them to 4-3 on the year, and they are now 2-3 in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Brandon Peters, very, very good first half. He threw on the night for 2 touchdowns. Brian Fitzgerald, he was responsible for 3 touchdowns, a 72-yard interception return for a touchdown. He had a 1-yard touchdown run from scrimmage and a 57-yard touchdown run from scrimmage. He had quite a night, did the young junior for the Orioles. Ryan Pepio, he had a pretty good night himself. He did throw for 2 touchdown passes, had a 3rd touchdown that he ran in, but 3 big interceptions for Pepio and 5 turnovers for the Shamrocks. That proved to be too much for Jake Gilbert's team to overcome. So 2 games remain in the IHSAA football regular season. The Orioles will play their final road game of the regular season next week when they travel to Zionsville to take on the Zionsville Eagles. Meanwhile, for Westfield, they will be home next week to welcome the Fishers Tigers. Our next broadcast of game night in Hendricks County, our feature game of the week next Friday night, we will be at Noblesville as the Noblesville Millers will host the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Kickoff for that game is at 7 o'clock. Our next Avon Oriole broadcast here on Audio Sports Online will be next Friday night at at Zionsville. We'll have the pregame show for you at 6:30, and then Dave Shelburne will rejoin me next week with a kickoff between the Eagles and the Orioles set for 7 o'clock. Once again, our final score from Avon High School. The Avon Orioles, they come away with the win. It is their 4th win in a row. They knock off the Westfield Shamrocks by the score of 35-20. For everybody here, which is really just me tonight, thanks for tuning in tonight. See you next time on Game Night in Hendricks County and Oriole Football on Audio Sports Online.